his new home. You need a road map when you go to visit him. 62-room home used to belong to what, the Archbishop of Detroit, I believe.
1-0 the score.
60. What do you do with 62 rooms?
Invite a lot of friends over, I guess. One-0 is our score. And Patrick Ewing has the rebound. Mark Jackson crosses the line against Isaiah Thomas. Johnny Newman up top. Into the lane. Has it knocked away. McGuire tries to stop him. Jackson penetrates, shoots the jumper. Got it. Hit the front rim, lipped it over. So the Nets lead it 2-1. Joe Dumars. 3-2 Detroit. Dumars has his first points of the night. We have played a minute.
Terry Cummings at the line for his first point. He got a very nice ovation from the Milwaukee fans here when he was introduced as part of the San Antonio starting lineup. Of course, all 7 years of his career until this year were spent in Milwaukee.
Well, he can score, that's for sure. He has the ability to get to the foul line, and he gives you a guy that you can go to late in ball games and can make key shots.
Ricky Pierce is checked into the Milwaukee lineup. He gets the ball from Humphries. Roberts traveled. Spurs ball. It's 3 turnovers for the Bucks as you look at some other scores on a big night of NBA basketball. 10 games on the schedule tonight. Shakes down in that corner, and they're down to only 8 seconds left in the shot clock again. And Willie Anderson having himself a good first quarter.
Rebound. Winston with his best game of the season against Golden State. Price all the way to the basket, and he blows the bunny inside. Hawks will run with the basketball. Rivers, nobody shuts him off, takes it all the way to the goal and scores.
Well, that time you have to pick up Glenn. That's one of the things he does very well, going to the basket in transition.
So Atlanta takes a quick 2-0 lead. Price on the 2-man gets bumped. Into the corner it goes to Hot Rod. Lets it go from 15, and he hits it.
That'll be an interesting matchup. Hot Rod with a nice jump shot, just to see if Contact will go out there and guard him. Where Hot Rod will have problems is guarding Contact down low.
Dominique, top of the key, jumper won't go. Williams with a rebound, and Price triggers the fast break. Bennett on the move, takes it inside, had it stripped, but he was the last to touch it. Not happy with the call, but Atlanta gets the basketball.
Looked like Rivers got just a little bit of his hand, but not enough to cause any real harm. At least the official thought so.
Atlanta.
Did he walk? He did. Good job by Rodman there.
It was a great job, but you know that's the difference in experience. So a young player gets the ball in there, he tries to go too quickly with it, normally forces a turnover. That time James Worthy did walk with the ball, Skip, but great patience.
Dumars up the left wing. 35 seconds left.
Watch Lambert sliding out. He has Drew to try to switch on this.
Vinnie Johnson, 7 on the shot clock. Offensive foul, Vinnie Johnson. Boy, the Lakers are playing as good a defense as I've ever seen them play.
Well, that's the big knock. People think the Lakers are a team that run up and down the floor and score a lot of points. The reason they do that is because they're a great defensive team, and I don't think they've ever gotten the credit they deserve for their defense. They're playing a tenacious first quarter.
Larry Drew as they play for the final shot. You see the time remaining, and they have all of that. Henslick steals it beautifully. Ahead to Davis, and he walks. Eddie Hughes checks into the game for the Nuggets. B.J. Armstrong across the line. Scottie Pippen with it now. Armstrong against Hughes. Almost walked. Hughes knocked it loose. Lever with it. Denver looking very good early.
Well, that's the type of defense that they're known for. That's the type of turnovers they cause.
Hughes hangs in the air. Got banged. No whistle. Left it short. Jordan heads the other way. Danny Shea's about to check into the Denver lineup. Michael. Nope. Missed the tip. Quite right. Denver by 1 with 2.5 in quarter number 1. Cartwright with 6 to lead.
Miller from three-point land. It's short. Rebound comes out deep. Who's going to get there first? Michael does. Goes sailing over the table, but got it down to Pippen.
Oh, that was just great hustle by Michael Jordan. He ran that ball down and slapped it ahead. And Scottie Pippen, the only one back. Just a tremendous play by Michael Jordan.
Bulls again by 3. 4:20 remaining first. Fleming works against Armstrong. They continue to look inside for Smits, but Reggie Miller will take this one. Wouldn't go for him. Rebound rolls loose. Armstrong comes away with it. Michael takes it over Fleming. He has scored 8 points in this first quarter. 3 out of 4 from the field. 20-15. Smits again. This time it wouldn't go for him. Rebound comes out deep. Fleming takes over. Miller operating along the base.
Green against Bill Cartwright. Bill Cartwright has a lot of size on him. AC Green's going to need help.
Won't go, and the rebound, a foul on AC Green. Battling for the rebound. So the ball will be inbounded by the Bulls on the side. Lakers 2-0, 10:49 left. First quarter. Doug Collins, Skip Carey with you from the Chicago Stadium.
We see Michael Cooper playing against Michael Jordan. He wants to try to deny and contain Michael Jordan as much as he possibly can.
Worthy against Pippen. Not much movement for Chicago. Now they go to Jordan. Shot it on the way down. Late whistle and a foul called on Cooper by Jake O'Donnell.
That's a real tough matchup. Michael Jordan, you know, Skip, people talk about his great open court game. He's also a tremendous low post player. Pat Riley's going to have make a decision early in the game. They probably won't double team Michael Jordan in the post, but if he gets people in foul trouble, they're going to come down to give help. That's when you open the jump shot.
29, New York by a point. 10:45 remaining in this first half. And the turnover gives it right back to New York. The Bullets have missed 2 opportunities to reclaim the lead.
That's
Strick's a little over-creative at that.
That time he was. Try to throw bounce pass would have been perfect. But see, on that kind of a play would have been great because you can call Oakley Thunder and then Thunder and Lightning. Would have been a great combination there.
I get your point. I agree with you, though. There are an awful lot of hot rods floating around the basketball courts. Eccles working against Tucker. Loves to shoot it. He's hit his first 2 efforts. He's got 4. And a 1-point lead. Washington has reeled off 7 straight points. Knicks have yet to score in the second quarter.
Yeah, and Patrick's on the bench.
See how much longer he stays there if the offense continues to sputter. Kenny Walker couldn't get it to go, but he will go to the free throw line.
Now there's a guy that's really been a big help for the Knicks this season coming off the bench. Kenny Walker no longer has the burden and the expectations of having to be a...
Dawkins missing, Perkins rebounding. Dallas trailing by 6. The Dallas guards have been unable to score early in this game. They are 0 for 5 from the floor. That won't stay that way too long with Harper and Blackman. Horn kept it alive. Juminski with the rebound.
See, Barkley wants to isolate here against Donaldson. He sees the double team, 1 extra pass, and they should get someone an open jump shot.
Horn to Juminski with 7 on the shot clock. Rebound Donaldson.
I'd say NBA defense is so good now. Bob, when you're forced to play a half-court game, you're going to have a difficult time scoring 100 points. Teams are so well scouted now that they load up on you, and that's why it's so important to try to get some easy baskets. Neither team here are getting any easy baskets. And as you can see, there's turnovers being forced, and everything is a jump shot.
Moved by KJ. He has 5, and we are tied at 26.
Nobody better in the open court than Kevin Johnson.
Lakers will play for a final shot here in the first quarter.
See if Byron Scott gets a 3-point shot. In many instances, they'll double team and they'll rotate, and he'll get him a wide open 3 in the corner.
Cooper will take it from 3-point land. Wouldn't go. And Vlade Divac comes up with a rebound as the horn sounds, ending quarter number 1, and we're right back where we started. Lakers 26, Phoenix 26 after 1.
There's Kevin Johnson in the open floor. Byron Scott trying to keep him out of the middle. He can't do it, and his great speed splits the defenders, kisses it off the glass. Great move by Kevin Johnson.
At Improve All, we built our business.
Jackson didn't bother him there. Outlet Jordan. He's 1 on 3. He pulls up, shoots the jumper, and hits it. Boy,
Watch out.
That's confident.
Yeah, but watch out because he's knocked in 3 for 3 here, and he can have a big night here if he decides to turn it on offensively. But you saw an example the last 2 times of bad passing by the Hornets.
Kapuka, there's a good pass. Gilliam, the easy layup. 17-11. He touched the ball before tonight. Doesn't seem like it. They go low to Cartwright again. He misses. Rebound Curry. Gilliam in the lane. Stolen away by Scottie Pippen. On a drive, Jordan to the hole. Yep.
Well, he had nothing for a while. He's got 8 very quick ones, however.
And just like that, it's a 4-point game, 17-13. We still have
inside. There's plenty of space. They feel that Parrish can't control him on his own. That's his second personal foul.
Now Joe Klein will get Parrish. Brewer proudly outplayed Robert in the first few minutes of the game. There's Big Joe out of Arkansas. Brewer puts them both away. Brewer has 6. Campbell has 6. Bird has 6 at the other end. It's 22-15. The Timberwolves with the lead. It's a high-scoring quarter for them. Klein can't control the pass. Third Boston turnover. And the Wolves come to the attack against a little pressure. Murphy heads to the front court. They're down to 6 on the shot clock. That's right where they want to be.
Had another steal. He leads all the fours in the league in steals. That was Alvin Robertson, who's got 12. Bucks by 3, looking for Horace Grant down low.
See, he has the size advantage right there with Tony Brown. They're mismatched at every position right now. You see Stacey King with Lohaus. You see Horace Grant with Tony Brown. Right now, the Bucks are going to have big problems trying to defend against the Chicago Bulls.
There's Pippen with the steal. Jordan caused it, though, as he blocked the pass. The feed to Grant from Pippen, who's fouled and misses the shot. The foul is on Brown. He has 2.
Well, if you get a chance to watch this play, I don't know if we'll have it or not, but when Horace Grant goes to the basket, he used his right hand here on the drive, Bob. If he would have planted strong and gone up with his left hand, he might have got a 3-point play opportunity. As it was in shooting the ball with his right hand, the man was able to hit him on the arm, and it forced him to miss the shot. So around that basket, you got to use your arm.
Mel Proctor and Randy Gordon will bring you live amateur boxing featuring the U.S. and Canada as the U.S. team warms up for the upcoming Goodwill game Saturday night at 10:30 on our sister station, TBS, on U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive. Here in Richfield, Ohio, it's Chicago by 11. 15 on the shot clock for Chicago.
You got to watch Michael Jordan. He loves to take a lob on this play.
Shot clock to 10. Jordan has 43 in this game. Kicks it to Cartwright. Fakes Elo. Takes the 15-footer. Rebound Williams. Price running has Elo way out in front. And the layup, and it's a 9-point Chicago lead, and Elo has 19 to go with Mark Price 25, and it's been all backcourt for Cleveland, and that's some of their problem.
See, one of the things that's going to have to happen now, some of the other Bulls are going to have to get involved offensively. Michael's carried him now with 43 points. Some of the other guys are going to have to start looking to score.
Williams with a steal. It's 4 on 3. Price to Elo. Drives into Jordan. Offensive foul. Listen to the crowd.
That was a bad call. That was a bad call there. Michael Jordan was not set, and Elo was going in. Michael, exceptionally quick, packs him back on Mark Price. It's a matchup we want to watch.
Nance draws the double team. And the Cavs reverse it. They get Williams in the paint. Tips his own shot back up and in, and Hot Rod Williams has 19, and he's been big off the bench as he's been all year. The Bulls lead it by 4 with 3 to play. Cleveland looking for a stop here. Nance, and that's Pippen. Elo trying to deny Jordan the ball. 6 on the shot clock. 4, 3. And we've got another Chicago turnover. It's a Cleveland ball.
See, Cleveland has upped the intensity of their defense. They've kept the ball away from Michael Jordan.
Quickly down to Nance, who hits Williams for the jam. It's a 2-point game at Richfield Coliseum.
Michael Jordan has got to get the ball in his hands right now and deliver.
Jordan looking for his 59th and 60th points. He's got them. 60 points for Jordan.
See, you got to get the ball in his hands late in the game because there's a block. Paxson's out of the ball game.
At 6 on Paxson, Mark Price will go to the line. And that's the 15th foul against the Bulls. So they're in the penalty. Cleveland will be going to the line with 2:20 to go in the game. He's out with only 2 points and 6 fouls. And by the way, Mike.
Deflected away. Boy, Pippen was loose on the baseline, but somebody got a hand in there. And Wilkins from Peaks and the New York fast break is really paying dividends.
And off of defense, block shots, get their hand in, deflect the ball. I mean, it's been a very good performance for the Knicks right now. I mean, had they been playing this way over the last 2-3 weeks or so, they certainly wouldn't have lost the number of games that they have.
Jordan, not this time, nowhere near. Rebound, Grant, yes. Horace Grant with a hoop, Bulls by 2. 43 seconds left. You want to be an announcer trying to broadcast and get all the tenths in as you do. Rebound, Cartwright. Ahead it comes to Pippen. Armstrong, good move. Chicago will get another possession, and they lead by 4. There are 19 on the shot clock.
In his last ball game.
Moses against Edwards in the post on the near side now.
Moses likes to step away and face and shoot that little jump shot.
Hawks looking for the open man. On the far side, it's Battle from Wilkins. John Battle.
When the Hawks make the extra pass, they're a very tough team because they have guys on a team that you must double team. When you double, that leaves someone open. Battle the recipient of the jump shot.
20-12, Hawks by 8. 4:07 to go first quarter. Vinnie Johnson to Thomas for 3.
3 passes that time, and Isaiah gets a wide open shot. That is Detroit's offense. Make the extra pass. Very unselfish.
Detroit cold from the floor in the first quarter. Malone bumping Lane Bear, this time answering in kind. No call. Isaiah Thomas comes away with it. A behind the back to Vinnie Johnson.
John Battle was trying to take the foul on that one against Isaiah Thomas. The referees knew Detroit had the break. They would not call the foul. It's a good.
Had 2 free throws to boot. Now Michael Jordan driving on Lewis. And the Bulls score. Oh, there you go. Good coaching call, Rick. And of course, that wasn't very obvious. Down to Bagley at the point. To McHale. Bagley open with 10 on the shot clock. Rebound Jordan as the Bulls run. Cartwright had drifted out early, but Bagley had got back to get him. John Paxson from long range. It's 11-4. Chicago Bulls closed out their home season last night with a win over the Washington Bullets. So they played last night, came into Boston today. The Celtics had an opportunity to rest. Lewis from long range. Reggie Lewis has 6, and he's 3 out of 3. Keep you posted on the important.
Phil Jackson up off the bench. See him at the top of your screen. Bulls 0-2. Crowd a little restless here at Chicago Stadium. Pippen flashes into the lane. He's fouled on the drive. He tried to dish to Cartwright. That's 2 on Parrish. Kevin McHale will be in this ball game shortly.
You know, the other night, Bob, against New York, the Celtics went with McHale at center, Bird as your power forward, Reggie Lewis as the 3-man. Shaw and Kevin Gamble had a lot of success when Patrick Ewing went out of the ball game. So look maybe for McHale even to play a little center tonight. Joe Klein checking in there early to replace Robert Parrish with 2 fouls.
Well, McHale not ready to come into the ball game yet, but Joe Klein is. Pinckney and Klein, of course, came in that trade from Sacramento for Ainge. Ainge now up in Portland. There it is, a hit again to Shaw. Kicks it out to the...
What he did wrong, and still talking to the official about it.
Only the second team foul. Not many whistles so far in the game. Only 3 personals have been called. Rolando gets off the jumper. Blackman shot a little strong. Comes right back to him. Working against Magic with help underneath from Perkins. That one no good. Worthy comes down with it. Off to Magic Johnson. Down to Byron Scott. Scott quickly over Blackman. And Byron Scott is hit for 6 points in this first quarter. And the Lakers have a 4-point lead.
Scott definitely shooting it with more confidence tonight. I think you go back to that first little basket he made under the in close, and I think you saw right there that he was feeling it tonight.
Harper puts the shot up. Boy, that one wasn't even close. Well, we had conflicting signals there from the officials. One pointing one way, one pointing the other. So we get a jump ball, and Rodney McCray is going to check into the Dallas lineup. But he's going to have to wait. First 2 of the night. It's 11-8 Clippers. Now some backcourt pressure applied by Chicago. Gary Grant trying to beat it. Almost stolen again by Michael. Grant goes wire to wire. Dishes off to Kimball. Kimball lost the ball on the way up. Rebound Benoit Benjamin. Too strong off the glass. Rebound off the floor to Paxson.
You got to make the easy ones in a game like this.
Scottie Pippen trying to find that hot hand from outside. He's not been able to hit that shot very often all year. Still 11-8 Clippers. Nobody covering Grant, so he takes it himself. That one wouldn't go. Cartwright pulls away the rebound. Paxson's hit 2. He tries a 3-pointer and nails it. He's already hit his average points per game. He's got 7 in the first quarter. We're tied at 11.
He's just happy with the shot opportunities.
Now again, Kimball's shot partially blocked by Scottie Pippen, and the Bulls can grab the lead here.
So you'll see a lot of that. A lot of early shooting, bad percentage shots by the Clippers.
Paxson is deadly in this first.
We have another foul.
Well, on that ball rotation, Grant, no one was playing Grant. For some reason, Phoenix was messed up on their matchups. Rambis is talking to West before he is on his way to the bench.
Well, the loud round of applause you hear is for Ed Neely, who played here last year and became such a crowd favorite during the playoffs. He replaces Kurt Rambis, who'll have to sit down with a couple of personal fouls. Ed Neely, his baby watch continues. We told you last week in Portland, his wife Deanne was a week late. Now she's 2 weeks late with their first son. And Ed says it's tough to concentrate on basketball, but he goes, I just figure it's tougher on my wife.
So getting back to Grant and these new goggles, pretty good statement. He said these goggles are outstanding because the defenders, the guys who are playing here, are constantly knocking the glasses down, and these will hold the area better than ever.
Oh, and it was an interception.
Now Grant inside on Sigma, doesn't get it. Cartwright tries to tip it, and Robertson has his pocket picked by Jordan, who connects.
You better not be careless with Michael Jordan. We're normally seeing Alvin Robertson on the steal. That time, Michael Jordan.
We are tied up at 8, inside of 8.5.
Humphrey's very important for this Milwaukee team. He must go at John Paxson. He's strong. He loves to take the ball to the basket with his left hand.
And if he begins to take an effect on Paxson, look for B.J. Armstrong to come in, who has played very well for Chicago. On top to Jordan, he takes the 19-footer and he drains it.
Michael shooting the ball with such great confidence.
He is 3 of 3. He told us last week that he's not going to be patient anymore offensively in the first quarter. He says, I will attack, and that is exactly what he's doing. As Jay Humphreys, nothing but the bottom.
The officials, Mike Mathis, George Tolliver, and Jack Neese. And the tap is won by the Pistons, who do not start James Edwards after 90 consecutive starts. That pulled chest muscle keeps him out tonight. Mark Aguirre starting, gets it in the post. Bird checks him or tries. He misses to Parrish.
A good shot opportunity that time for the Pistons. They got the ball down inside and had a real good shot at the basket.
Brian Shaw gives it up to Gamble. Now Reggie Lewis, a handful for anybody. Dumars let him have it, and he hit it.
Reggie Lewis is a great jumper, and that time he just jumped over an outstretched hand of Joe Dumars.
Joe still bothered by the remnants of the flu he picked up on the West Coast. And as the Pistons set up, we're going to get an offensive foul.
5 remaining, first quarter. Second meeting of the year between these two clubs. New York won the previous meeting in Los Angeles. Little jump hook by Mark Jackson. He did a good first quarter offensively. He had 6 points.
He's getting a lot of opportunities because Magic is the man who's being the double team guy.
Byron Scott has got the outside touch in this first quarter. That was for 3. It's a 7-point lead now. He has hit all 4 of his field goal efforts in this first quarter. Gerald Wilkins trying one from out there. That one wouldn't go.
Byron feels that he's going to go up with this one.
He had an amazing night. He's 5 for 5 in this game now. 11 points. 13 out of 15.
I saw that game. It was against Phoenix. He had 32 points. They won on the road, and then they came back against Detroit and had a very solid game. When Byron Scott scores, it's a different basketball team because it gives them a terrific perimeter threat.
We've got 3:40.
We've got an offensive foul that'll go the other way to Chicago. The Lakers, by the way, you saw on a 13-2 run over the last nearly 4 minutes, have hit their last 5 shots.
Bill Cartwright has not touched the basketball in 5 minutes. Here's his first time.
He's trying to muscle inside with a big hoop. He did muscle that in against Sam Perkins and draws the foul.
See, we played 5 minutes of basketball. Your center doesn't touch the ball, and when he gets it, they're playing one-on-one. There's no way that Divac can match up with him in the low post. Plus, you're going to put Divac into foul trouble if he tries to play him by himself. Cartwright has too many moves down inside.
Speaking of foul trouble, Perkins now with 2 fouls. He'll have to go to the bench. A.C. Green comes off to go into the forward spot in place of Perkins. A.C. Green, an all-star last year.
John McLeod has to call another timeout with 4:54 remaining in the first quarter. The Celtics have gone back up by 8. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Let's take a look at the Boston Celtics fast break. Robert Parrish with the excellent defensive rebound. You're going to see him get the ball out with his left hand. And look, you're going to see 4-on-2, but look how wide the Celtics are running. They're spacing the floor, forcing Cheeks and Wilkins to try to cover 4 guys with 2. The easy layup by Larry Bird. And that's what Boston has been doing so successfully this year. Off to a good start here tonight. 18 points already in the first quarter.
For the fast break points, 9-0. And how about points off turnovers, too? 9 points off 5 New York turnovers.
Now Boston, excuse me, Ron, but Boston only forces 14 turnovers a game. So again, New York being careless with the basketball, allowing Boston to do what they do best, and that's run here in their own building, the Boston Garden. Boston has always been a team
for Wilkins to play, and they're putting him on Grant because he's not that difficult off the dribble.
Burrell takes this one over Grant. His first 2 of the night, back to an 8-point Chicago lead. Closing in on the 2-minute mark in this first quarter. Pippen draws the double team. Somebody's open. It's Paxson. Battle late getting over, but the missed shot pulled away by Grant.
Excellent ball movement. Good offensive rebounding.
Grant takes it from left of the lane. He has got a hot hand in this first quarter. He has already struck for 10 points.
By getting into the finals the last 2 years and losing out to Detroit, they learned how to milk the clock and make the extra pass under pressure situations. They've really matured at the offensive end of the floor.
Burrell working on Grant again, lost the ball as he dribbled it off his leg out of bounds. 4th Atlanta turnover, gives it back to Chicago. They're up by 10. That's been their biggest lead in this first quarter.
Now Chicago very methodical, love to play pick and roll basketball, and you watch, because Vinnie Johnson is starting out on Michael Jordan, watch Jordan posting up there in the course of the quarter.
In the first meeting between these two teams on Christmas Day, of course, Chicago won it. Trapping defense by Chicago. Lambeer open for the 3. Doesn't get it.
Early in this game, you can see that any time that Chicago comes up and scores, they're looking to trap the point guard immediately, make him give up the basketball, and let's see Detroit play without the point guard.
Lambeer comes over to help on the double team, leaves Grant open, who's not able to bury the shot, but Chicago gets another chance.
We should see a lot of Michael Jordan this evening down on the baseline because he realizes he can always out-jump Vinnie Johnson and get off a good shot opportunity.
Rodman, 11.3 rebounds a game, pulled it down. That's his career best. Johnson will be slapped by Paxson on the play.
Tough matchup for.
Look at the shot he ends up with. Much tougher shot. He had the shot initially.
Kevin Johnson, 5 assists in the first 5.5 minutes of this game.
Looks like he's making a real conscious effort to get his teammates off.
Bird tried to hit Gamble. The ball came out into the hands of Parrish, who gets the basket. Parrish has 7 points early, so he too is starting very well, just as he did in the game against the Los Angeles Lakers. Celtics up by 1.
See, Shaw's done a good job right there, keeping Kevin Johnson in front of him. You make him take that outside jump shot. That's terrific defense.
That time, no ball movement at all. It just stayed in the hands of Kevin Johnson, and he shot it with 7 on the shot clock. McDaniel with the foul.
4th team foul on the Suns.
Suns have 14 fouls, only 1 against Boston. 5:40 to go in the first quarter.
About the veteran Ricky Green. He has really helped him since Dawkins got hurt. Meek, good move.
Yeah, you always panic when you lose a star player. You try to pick up a veteran and hope he can come through, and Ricky Green has done that, averaging double figures for them.
6-4 our score. 9:20 left in the quarter. They go to Barkley against Meek. There's the double team. Gilliam alone from 17 won't go. Rebound McCormick. Lead pass. Doc Rivers against Gilliam. Takes it strong. Gilliam blocked it. It's out of bounds. Belongs to Atlanta.
And Doc figured that he would fake him out and go reverse it underneath. But that time he should have shot the ball on the left side because Gilliam wasn't in position to get it. Now watch when he comes up. He actually traveled with the ball. Now he goes up. He could have laid it in lefty because Gilliam, see, is floating away from the basket. So Doc actually took it to the defender that time. Not a good choice.
But Atlanta still has the ball with 8:58 left in the quarter. McCormick's turnaround rattles around and falls. Tim McCormick has 4 points, and the game is tied at 6.
Earlier here, Boston on a Parrish jumper wins over Cleveland. We'll keep you posted on NBA scores all evening long here on TNT. Blazers by 4 from the Forum. Magic Johnson won't miss that one.
Looks like Portland is going to try to alternate their double teams. They don't want to become in a routine to where the Lakers can read. At that time, no double team. Magic was able to split and go in for the easy score. Oh, tough shot.
Drexler went one-on-one all the way. Now Worthy out on the wing where he's at his best. James Worthy has 4 points, and it's tied at 12.
That was a bad shot by Clyde Drexler. What that did was it put his team in a position where the Lakers then could get a run out and an easy break.
Kersey traveled. He moved that pivot foot. 4 Portland turnovers in this game. That's been one of the differences, one of the reasons the Lakers have been able to get back in it. Tied at 12, 4:51 to go first quarter. Brought the Forum back to life. It sounded.
On Sid Green. Really better do something. Shot clock's down to 3. A little asphalt move.
See, San Antonio will take you off the dribble now. I still say if they make some outside shots, they're a dangerous team in here against Chicago. But right now, everything's going to the basket.
Clippers from straight on, and that is not what he would like to do, shooting.
Sean Elliott is not going to let him get inside. He's going to prevent him from getting the easy basket.
Well, Jordan with another steal. Then he just dribbles around Wingate, who has to grab him wisely.
Now, I'll tell you why a lot of teams do this, all right? Even though you're in the penalty, when you're in Chicago Stadium, and we're going to see Michael with a great steal here. When you're in Chicago Stadium, you're an opposing coach. Michael Jordan electrifies his crowds with his dunks, and he gets this place crazy. You want to keep the dunk out of the game, so you take the foul, and you'll give him 2 free throws as opposed to getting everybody in this building excited.
Jordan, 4 points, 4 assists, 3 steals. He's 3rd in the NBA in that department. And, of course, he leads the Bukowski short on the jumper. Jordan with the rebound. Now let's see what he does. He's got 3-on-3. Holds it up, waits for Pippen to come across the timeline.
They got the switch now. Alvin Robinson better come back here and double team. He does. Takes the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands.
Jordan, shot clock at 8. Puts up the J. Tip, no drill. Pippen again. Block. Fans wanted a foul. 3-on-2. 4-on-2. Burkowski to the hole. Jordan blocks it, but he is fouled, and Burkowski goes down hard.
It's going to be 2 fouls on Michael Jordan. Burkowski's taken some nasty falls here in the first period. This is the 2nd time he's been down on the deck.
That brings up Mark Feil, the trainer for the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's going to come out and take a look at Frank Burkowski.
It'll be a 20-second timeout so that Mark Feil can take a look. They can ill afford to lose Frank Bukowski. He's been playing the best basketball, really. He and Fred Roberts on this team over the last 8-10 ball games.
To take it inside on Rodman since he picked up that early foul, but that's the first time. Wilkins with the stick back. Now Willis battling hard. That was blocked by Bedford. Here's Isaiah again to Rodman. Got a foul before the shot.
Well, Bedford tried to post up, and he was hit. Now watch this excellent anticipation by Isaiah coming from the other side of the floor. Now this was interesting because not one Hawk came over half court, and if Isaiah would have missed that, say any kind of lack of concentration, he could have rebounded it and put it back up.
Moses Malone checking in at center, and John Koncak will stay in the ball game with Moses as Willis sits down. So it'll be Dominique Wilkins, Koncak, and Moses up front with Battle and Doc Rivers in the backcourt for Atlanta. Dumars on the penetration, and Joe Dumars is on fire early in this game. 11 points. He's 5 out of 6.
Joe's having his finest year scoring-wise.
Also in this game, too, is the Lakers are going to keep this kind of pressure on all night long. What's going to happen is if this team plays them somewhat close, I think where you're going to see a major difference is when you substitute what the subs will do coming off the bench. That will be the big difference.
Mike Dunleavy up on the far side, yelling instructions to his team. Ostrowski inside of Tony Kostler for an easy two.
Ostrowski's a nice-looking player. Big, rangy, 6'9", lanky. Put it on the floor with his left hand, created an easy score.
Perkins sets his feet for a horse shot. Vlade gets his hand on it. Once again, Kelly Tripucka is not playing in this ball game. Look at the other end.
Now here's Ostrowski. Watch him. Take it with his left hand. Here comes the help from Vlade. Remember we talked about nobody rotating down defensively. An easy layup for Tony Kostler.
Tripucka has signed with Limoges, practiced with him yesterday, has come down with the flu, and he's back at the hotel.
I wonder if that's the Worthy flu or the Parisian flu.
I think it's maybe the homesick flu, to be honest with you. Ostrowski shot second personal foul.
We've played almost 6 minutes of play, and you'll notice one thing. The Bulls get into their offensive sets earlier, get the shot up with more time on the clock. Right now, Miami's still feeling their way because you have a new point guard. And he's the guy who's handling the basketball.
Jordan double pumps way up in the air. Doesn't get the shot to go down. Rebound by the Heat.
So they're playing Michael well early. They're right up there challenging on the elevation.
A lot of enthusiasm and camaraderie in this Miami Heat ball club. Rice for three. Nothing but the bottom of the net. That is his second. Shot 38% from three-point land last season. He's 2 for 2 this evening. 8-point Miami lead. They're on a 12-2 run.
Give it up. Now you have 4 on 3. Nice. Now that was a great pass by
Pippen.
Bulls by 3. That's their biggest.
There's a double up. They're doubling big with Cartwright.
Shot clock at 4. The 3 on the way. Won't go down by Anderson. He says he got hit in the head.
Here comes Pippen again.
That's what he does best. Slashes down the middle. Ball belongs to Chicago.
This is Chicago at its best right here. Scottie Pippen playing the passing lane. Now in the middle of the floor. Gets it perfectly in the middle of the floor so the lanes now can be filled. See a nice bounce pass to John Paxson running the lane nicely for an easy 2-point.
Cartwright banging into Anderson. Anderson giving away a lot of inches. 3 on the way. Pippen can't get it. Philadelphia with a 4 on 3 if they hustle. Gilliam loses the handle to Barkley with another slam. Barkley in double figures with 10. He's 5 of 5.
I think that ball was slick, Ron. There's been a lot of mishandled passes. I don't know if it's a...
Got tangled up with someone in the Houston game. Fell down on his arm.
Talking to the coaching staff today, they say they always wonder about Chris Jackson. He needs to have his first shot go down cleanly. If it rattles around or he misses, he starts thinking about it. That's probably one of the reasons Chris Jackson's only shooting 37% as Willie Anderson has 4.
Well, as you know in this league, that first shot is just that. It's a first shot. Whether it goes or not shouldn't even matter. You just come down and look for that next one and try to get that one to go. Chris will learn that with time.
Jackson, a lot of physical problems last year. Anderson doesn't get it. Mutombo with the rebound over Robinson with the block. That is his 11th on the year.
I'm sure that hasn't happened very often. in this young season from Mutombo.
Avery Johnson takes advantage of it. Spurs 10-6, 8:55. Let's take a look at David Robinson leading the NBA in blocks this year.
Well, just as big as that.
Wave it off.
See, you see John Bagley there at 6'1", trying to play against the bigger Steve Smith. He's already picked up 2 fouls. Brian Shaw's about 6'5", so he would be a better matchup. So now here comes Kevin Pritchard into the ball game. Already the backcourt has been exposed in the substitution.
Kevin Pritchard played 21 minutes, had 8 assists, and played in the final minutes of the game against the Knicks. A little bit better size matchup. You see how big Steve Smith is. He's 6'8".
I talked to Chris Ford. He likes Kevin Pritchard. He thinks he's going to be able to do a good job for this team. He's only been here a few days, but he's really come in and played well.
There's the pick and roll. Steve Smith gets it down to Willie Burton. Burton, also a Michigan native. He played his high school basketball in Detroit before going to Minnesota.
Steve Smith loves to get in the air like he's going to shoot the basketball and pass at the last moment. So Boston must be aware of this, not turn their head. He's big. He can see over the top of the defense. Boston is going to have to make an adjustment on their screen roll. They went
call against Detroit and the battle for the rebound. There's John Sally.
That's a very concerned coach right now. See, but Sally getting in trouble here right now. They're going to come with Bedford. Now, the pressure, by allowing James Edwards to go in a trade to the Los Angeles Clippers for Jeff Martin, a second round draft pick. Martin has already been waived. The second round draft pick might not mean much. You know, you got Aguirre, a premier scorer out of the game. This is putting pressure on Bedford. Bedford has got to come in here now and give this basketball team not only rebounding and shot by, but he's got to score for these guys.
Livingston gets his first point. He can tie it up if he makes this next one. Bedford in for Aguirre. He just picked up his second foul. And we are tied at 17.
Now, once again, here they come in the press. Now it's man-to-man. It's not his own press. And they will only trap you if someone is getting beaten off.
Just the dribble as he tried to back it in on Xavier McDaniel. Now Mark Jackson straight to the hoop with the easy layup. Nobody there to defend it.
Mark Jackson is best in the transition game where he can bring the ball up the floor, he can spin, he can shoot the little floating shots in the lane. When you get into a half-court ball game, you force him to be a jump shooter. That is probably the weakest aspect of his game.
Maxwell to a well-positioned Otis Thorpe, and Oakley has to foul him.
Foul is called 34.
You're talking about a couple of men down there when you have Otis Thorpe being defended by Charles Oakley.
I think also, too, you look at the strategy of Don Chaney saying, let's go at Ewing, let's go at Oakley, let's get to their bench, let's make them come in and get those two big guys off the front line. If we can soften them up, we have a great chance then of winning this basketball game.
When you're talking about front court, you're talking about trouble for the New York Knicks. They do not have much depth there.
And right now it's a team that is trying to come together. As you talked about X-Man, Xavier is a new addition. You've got Oakley.
Big thing here is, will the Celtics be able to run their half-court offense? That's the big key tonight.
Bagley misses from 17. Rebound AC Green. He's got 6 early rebounds into Worthy. And Worthy has 4 points early. It's a Laker lead by 2.
Well, we said at the top of the show, Fox and Gamble have a tough job tonight. Celtics need their points, and they're also going to have to keep up with James Worthy all night.
Reggie Lewis, a whirling dervish, gets his own stick back. Lewis with 4.
We're seeing some bad defensive blocking out. As a matter of fact, it's non-existent.
And Worthy stepped on the baseline. Celtics ball tied at 10.
The Lakers have been doing a nice job in their 8 wins here because they've been coming down in any kind of transition, posting Worthy and Perkins right away, going into them and trying to get you before you can double team.
Parrish draws the double
shot. Now, Duckworth should be able to go against Stacey King, but right now Duckworth is just not playing good basketball.
Has a strained groin. Pippen misses the jam. The rebound falls into the hands of Duckworth. Drexler looks right, goes left. Percy. The alley-oop to Jordan with the right hand.
Michael looks like something happened to him early in the ball game. He's grimacing. I don't know if he hurt his back on the one play when he drove and Buck Williams took the hard foul, but he does not appear right now to be at 100%, although you can't say it by the last shot that he just took.
He didn't go up for that rebound, but it rolls into the hands of Pippen. Bulls have a 4-on-2. Paxson all the way. Talked about the premier matchup, Jordan and Drexler.
Another eye contact play. You know, you cannot allow Michael.
Instead of just taking down the rim as Carr did.
Well, and you look at his size, and it's amazing that he can get off the floor. Not so much that he can get up high, but he can get up so quickly.
He's playing with a sore ankle. It's the first lead for San Antonio, and they'll try to up it by 2 as they lead 8-6 with 8:15 left in the first. In case you're wondering why they keep trying to go into Antoine Carr, that is by design. That is part of Larry Brown's, I hesitate to say new offense, but what he's stressing the most. San Antonio on a 6-0 run, and that's a 20-second timeout with 8:03 remaining to be played in the first. So we're seeing the benefits, the spacing, trying to get it down low to Antoine.
Yeah, the thing that we've seen so much in this first half for San Antonio is the ability to get the ball in the paint. And, of course, when Avery Johnson penetrates, gets to the basket, they have to get the help defensively from the weak side. And he has done a good job of kicking the ball off. Now, you'll see it right here. David Wright.
The only scorer on the team probably is Hicks. Well, Greg Anthony, you wouldn't consider him the scorer on this floor, but he does get 2.
This group with Anthony and Starks, they take it to the basket as well as any 2 guards in this league. They challenge you.
Speaking of challenge, Greg Anthony said, I've come to New York to be a defensive player first, and he's showing it now against Strickland. Shot clock at 7.
The fans, they love it. They love it. They love it. See, Anthony is struggling from the shooting standpoint. He's only shooting 33% from the floor, but he has done an outstanding job for them right here. He's been able to come off the bench and not allow the opposing point guards, especially the second unit point guards, beat him.
No basket. Greg Sutton, the rookie out of Oral Roberts, the second-round pick back in '91, commits his first foul as he's checked in for Strickland.
Now this unit for the Knicks has been productive.
Earlier, he's going to get a pretty good feel in the first quarter tonight just how his team is going to fare tonight.
Well, I like their effort offensively on the glass tonight, but their shooting has been horrendous.
Cummings with the offensive rebound and the putback. He has all 6 San Antonio points. And we are tied.
You know Terry Cummings is happy that Sean Elliott might have a little bruise because that means more shots.
They've tried to been equalizing those shots a little bit more on the big men for San Antonio. Cummings only averaging about 13 a game coming into this one. Outside jumper, Bill Cartwright wouldn't go. Rebound, Willie Anderson. Spurs doing a good job on the boards early. They can grab the lead here. And they do on the jumper from Sidney Green, his first 2.
Now, Sidney Green playing great basketball. Larry Brown's biggest question, how can I get him more minutes? He's doing a terrific defensive job on post people. I like that call right there by Jake O'Donnell. They are not going to allow the defensive player playing in Chicago at Detroit. Paxson came up with 7 out of 10 field goals. So they're trying to pay a little bit more attention to him.
There's Pippen now on Isaiah Thomas. Bulls defense very tight. Inside the lane, Beer missed the layup. The tip controlled by Dumars. Behind the back lane, Beer wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, but Lambert's got to give you a better shot than that anytime that there's a switch and he has Paxson playing him in the low hole.
Paxson down the lane. You rarely see Paxson driving the lane. Isaiah Thomas from just inside 3-point territory, and it's 6-4 Detroit.
Well, Detroit wants to up-tempo as much as possible, but when these two play one another, in the second half, we see that they slow down and concentrate more in the half-court sets.
Dumars on Michael Jordan. Rodman playing Bill Cartwright. Jordan spinning into the paint, the jumper.
Now, the 2 things that Chuck Daly's concerned about, one, Mike
Sonics really involved now in a battle for the 8th and final spot in the Western Conference. Seattle won tonight. They're a half game up on the Clippers, so it's a big one for Los Angeles here in Sacramento. And we are underway from Arco Arena. And it'll be the hometown Kings with a chance to get on the board first. Lionel Simmons puts the first shot up, comes up way off the mark. Golden Polynice pulls down the rebound for the Clippers. Danny Manning will arch the first shot of the night for L.A. It's short. L.A. has not been shooting the ball well in recent games. Here comes Spud Webb.
Mitch Richmond trying to get his shooting touch going. He has been cold.
Yeah, he has been struggling the last 2 or 3 ball games, but you see very quickly here the way the Sacramento Kings want to play. Fast break, early offense basketball. They want to put up as many numbers on the board as possible.
Under Rex Hughes, a little bit quicker, more upbeat tempo than they played under Dick Motta.
Yeah, Rex feels that this team is much better when they run, and the shooting percentage shows it.
Harper tries from
before you get some second shots and get some easy points on the break. He's really been a big part of the success without Bird and McHale in the lineup.
David Robinson on the drive and the scoop shot. And Robinson now has 4. He missed his first 2, hit his last 2. Pinckney backing in on Cummings. Got everybody in the air and drew the foul. And it's on Robinson.
Number 50, David Robinson, his first game foul reported on the Spurs.
There's David Robinson with a nice over-the-top pass. Robert Parrish got caught turning his head, and when he did, the blind pass from Willie Anderson. Beautiful play, and that's just eye contact between 2 players coming out of a timeout.
Pinckney to the line as we get the first substitution of the ball game, and Greg Sutton is going to get early bench time.
Well, I talked to the San Antonio coaching staff.
He has 4 rebounds already in this game. Strickland from 18. Barkley running. He has Anderson and Hawkins out on the wing.
Nice.
Gets it to Anderson.
When Charles is in the middle, you just run and fill the lane and open. He'll put the ball right on the money to you.
Yeah, you talk rebounding, scoring, and mouth with Barkley, but you forget his passing. Robinson with the hook and the offensive board and the putback.
See, now Robinson takes a bad shot. You must block Robinson out because he's one of the premier offensive rebounders in the league. Instead, Shackelford turned. Robinson, because of his quickness, hits the floor, beats him to the board.
Half a minute to go first quarter. 7-point lead for the Spurs.
There it is. Good
Hawkins
defense.
was in place for the 3. Drives, gets it to Shackelford. Missed the lay-in, but there's Charles. He couldn't hold it on the floor. Shackelford gets it.
Time Houston shoots and misses, they get the rebound. At this end of the floor where we're at right now, it is not happening.
And there's a block by Hakeem Olajuwon to Tim Perry. And Perry puts it home for his first 2 of the night.
Perry has the athleticism to really make a contribution this evening, but he's got to want the physical contact and play with confidence here.
Biggest improvement in his game, according to his coach Cotton Fitzsimmons, is his improved confidence this year with more minutes playing time. 18-8, Rockets leading it, 5:54 remaining first quarter. Here's Dan Marley checking in, and Tom Chambers sits down for Phoenix. Marley averaging 17 points off the bench.
Now you can see they're smaller now. They moved Perry to big forward position, so Perry will be on Thorpe. Marley will be matched up with Johnson.
You're probably going to see this threesome together on the court. KJ, Hornacek, and Marley. More than not tonight. Jeff Hornacek
Over Byron Scott. That's the matchup Hubie talked about in the open. Scott and Drexler. Used to be that Magic Johnson and Worthy could combine by moving Magic up front and sending Worthy out on Drexler. But now Scott will have to handle the job.
See, by pushing the ball up the floor quickly, Sedell 3, this gives them a few more seconds to work their half-court offense.
2 times Campbell's tried to go inside and lost the ball both times. Perkins misses the hook.
Well, definitely Campbell was fouled on that last attempt.
Kersey is open from Drexler.
See, I don't like the early going. Mike Dunleavy realizes that his major problem tonight is transition defense, and you can see Portland has not had a shot where a defensive player is within 5 feet of the man.
4-2 Portland early going in Los Angeles. They're going to go into Campbell again, and he scores this time.
Well, if they are going to continue to play Campbell from the rear, he is 7 foot, plus he has the long arm. This is a night that the young man must step forward. He's been sporadic. He has been out in the open floor, but they have no conversions, where at the other end it's nothing but execution.
Back to the Delta Center in Utah, where the Jazz held on to their slim 4-point lead for the rest of the first quarter. We rejoin the action at the beginning of the second. Utah 25, Philadelphia 21.
Charles is really playing big at the offensive end of the floor. Now, nothing has been able to go down for him, but he's making it happen.
Anderson stepped on the line for that 22-footer. Jazz by 4. Stockton back in the game. Also, David Benoit in number 21 for Utah. He's proven to be a big player off the bench. Mike Brown, strong move into the lane.
Well, you know yourself, the cardinal rule of defense is keep your man out of the middle when he's a post-up player. Force him to his weak hand. Make him go to the baseline.
David Benoit, 6'8", 225-pound rookie from out. Dale Freak guarded by Rod Strickland inside to A.C. Green. Eldon Campbell on the drive and miss. Rebound, Terry Cummings.
Nice move. He just flipped it to finish. He's got to go with that one strong.
Sean Elliott from the corner.
I think that new tape job is working. As I talked to Bob Bass before the game, Sean Elliott was 1 for 10 in the last game. He said he passed up a lot of shots, did not feel comfortable. So John Anderson, the Spurs trainer, might be the MVP if Sean Elliott keeps shooting it this way tonight.
Sean Elliott's 4 out of 4 for 8 points here tonight. Campbell goes back hard and misses it. Divac is there. That's goaltending. Antoine Carr counted and credit the basket to Vlade Divac.
See, Antoine Carr is working so hard. He's actually a power forward. He's giving up about 3-4 inches inside. You see the great rejection initially.
Pops off the Woolridge screen, kicks it back to Isaiah with 7 on the shot clock. Sally's going to take it in the lane again. His hook doesn't go. Rebound Lewis.
Very difficult shot by John Sally. Just enough bump by Robert Parrish to knock him off stride.
There's the pick and roll. Good defense by Woolridge, who rotated over on Parrish.
The ageless Robert Parrish, fading jump shot. The guy is amazing.
38 years old. This is his 16th year. Oldest player in the NBA. 16-5 Celtics. 6:07 to go first quarter. Nice pass from Rodman into Orlando Woolridge, who has 4.
That was the best that Detroit has run their offense in the first quarter. They were crisp with their execution. Man came off the screen hard. There was a switch. Pistons spotted it, found the easy layup or dunk for Orlando Woolridge.
Nothing there.
There's Horace Grant on the offensive boards. See, Mike Sanders got switched off. You got to watch Horace Grant.
We'll be watching Hot Rod Williams shortly, probably into this ball game. Moving to the forward, also back up Doherty some at the center position in this game.
Well, they really buy minutes with Mike Sanders down there at the small forward.
Good play there by Sanders.
Sometimes you fall asleep when you're playing him. You know, you're so worried about helping out. Pretty soon he's got the ball in a position, then you can't do anything about it.
Elo overplays Michael Jordan, and guess what? Jordan misses the layup, but there's another offensive rebound for the Bulls. 16-13. Elo almost lost it to Armstrong.
Craig Elo's got to make the simple play again. Behind the back dribble there, BJ almost picked him.
Maybe he's feeling pressure from Wilkins on the bench. Nance. Look at the bounce.
Yeah, Larry Nance looks really good. Mark Price made that play. Cleveland probably runs screen roll as well as anybody in the NBA because you have to. No shot blockers on the floor for Charlotte, so Shaquille must take his time, get any shot he wants to around the basket.
Magic climb within 1. When you're 7-1, you get it that low, it's just unstoppable. You're going to see a lot of that as they'll try to work against Gaddison. Johnson off to Gaddison. Gaddison from outside, and he's able to connect.
Well, it looks like they're going to bring Kenny Gaddison away from the basket and allow him to shoot the little medium-range jump shot. They're not going to try to post Shaquille. What this will also do is give Larry Johnson space underneath the basket to post up, knowing Kenny Gaddison is the outlet man.
Nick Anderson, who loves to create off the dribble. Out to Scott. This is a 3.
Well, so much for missing the layup. That's more in his range right there. Dennis Scott, if he stays healthy with Shaquille on the floor, he might lead the league in 3-point shots attempted and made this year.
Backdoor to Gill. Good heads-up pass from Kenny Gaddison.
Well, if you read the overplay, when you're struggling, as Kendall Gill is from the floor right now, shooting 34%, it's nice to get the quick layup to get the game started.
Anderson, this is his game, slashing inside. Gaddison has it.
He's taking the ball to the basket. That's a great sign. He's an exciting young player.
They like Dwayne Cooper as well, the rookie out of USC. They may use a 3-guard offense from time to time because of the 2 rookies. Gary Grant's in the ball game, and he tries to go baseline to Ken Norman. And so with 2:49 to go in this first quarter, the Clippers leading the Lakers 23-15. The Clippers have come out shooting very well. On the other hand, the Lakers have really struggled from the floor. I'm Gary Bender along with Doug Collins from the Great Western Forum, the second game between these two in the young season. And it goes to Eldon Campbell. He'll kick it outside to Peeler. Peeler, a three-pointer. Rebound by A.C. Green. Boy, he is always battling you on the boards, both ends of the floor.
Long shots, long rebounds. When a three-pointer's taken, you've got to take your block out deeper on the floor. That time, Norman did not.
Divac on the reach around, takes it inside. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Eldon Campbell, that's goaltending against Ken Norman.
It's tied at 22.
You got to break that time. Yeah, that could have been called a charge because he took it right in the shoulder, right into Jordan's chest that time.
Jordan gets the good bounce.
Well, they're getting every bounce. But you must make it happen here. Big thing now is you've had a good first quarter. You only have a little over a minute to play. Make the half-court offense work.
Sedale creep. One-on-one ball handling, but he's feeling the jumper, and Sedale has 8 points. Perkins has 7.
Bob, he's coming off that pick and roll, and they have to change what they're doing. They're going under the screen, and he's just stepping back, and it's a clear jump shot.
Speaking of clear jump shots, Michael Jordan now has 10.
Not only that, but he's talking to the guys on the sideline. Okay, so you know he has a field tonight.
He's in Los Angeles, enjoys himself here in Hollywood.
8:58 left in the first quarter. Cartwright with that extended shot where he gets it so high.
Well, Cartwright usually plays well in this building versus Parrish throughout his career.
He has 6 points already. Parrish the other end trying to match baskets. Grant with yet another rebound. That's his third already of the ball game.
He got a 4-on-3.
Behind the back, intended for Grant. Celtics basketball.
Get the mustard. I hope that ball rolled out to the concession stand. Okay, you can see Phil Jackson. He's looking there. He's upset. You see, he's hoping to get that 200 win or move into that special category.
Needs 8 more. What do you say? A little mustard on that?
Oh,
is that what you were saying?
Yeah, he did not need to go behind his back. He had a 4-on-3 with good spacing.
Parrish backing in. He and Cartwright collide, and Robert Parrish, the oldest player in the NBA, is able to connect again.
Interesting strategy early. Neither team is double teaming the center.
From Barkley more often than not. He's so good on the outlet. Drive inside by Hardaway. Boy, is this guy tough. He just comes back out, gets it to Mullen. That's a 3, and Chris Mullen nails it from outside.
When Hardaway breaks you down off the dribble, you must protect against the three-point shooting people. Plus, anytime that you go to help, now your man is open, so you have double problems.
And talking of problems, Tyrone Hill cannot, as you say, stop Barkley when he gets that low.
Oh, there's no way. I mean, the only guy who could possibly match up with him physically would be Alexander, but then Barkley would be too quick for him off the dribble. So, you know, they know that Charles is in for a big night scoring-wise here.
He scored all 6 of the Suns' points. The Warriors with a 9-6 lead.
See, this is a good matchup. They put Marley on Chris Mullen rather than Sabalas.
Sabalas reached in for the steal. Barkley a little too tough off the glass. We have a foul as Barkley's fouled by Hardaway.
We want to bring out the point, Gary, early in this game.
Shot clock, 15, a lot of time left. Barkley just sizes up J.R. Reed.
He knows he has time. The best thing to do is take him off the dribble and back him down.
Patented Charles Barkley.
Why not? When Charlie gets closer to the basket, he always shoots over 52, 53%. You know that you can put that in there, and anytime he gets close, you get the chance of getting fouled.
Marley in the back pocket of Dale Ellis as Ellis wheels around through about 3 different picks. Marley knocks it out with 10 on the shot clock. I think Charlie Barkley made a nice comment. He says, with Phoenix, I don't have to beat Charles Barkley every night. That was a very interesting comment.
Well, that's because they only have 5 guys who played in All-Star games. Come on, there's a little bit of talent here.
Oh, just a touch. Knocked out, 4 on the shot clock. San Antonio looking a little confused offensively.
I like the defense of Phoenix early. Anytime you go...
Divac 1 for 5 from the free throw line tonight. Difference in the game. Edwards Jordan didn't turn around jumper.
Start out at 10 and end up at 18, James Edwards. I always felt like the way you had to defend him was to run a guy in behind him, and as he pulled that shot back, tried to block it from behind.
We've seen Michael Jordan do just that. Here is Threet. Beautiful move past B.J. Armstrong, and the Jordan foul. That's 2 fouls early on Jordan. And a three-point opportunity for Sedale Threet, who has really stepped into the point guard role at Los Angeles. He'll never get credit because he's the man who replaced Magic Johnson.
Well, you see again the steal from Sedale Threet, and I think you're oh so right here. Without Sedale Threet, this Laker team would be in serious problems. I thought he really was the reason that they made the playoffs last year. His spectacular play. He's only had really one little bad stretch this year, and I think that's right after he suffered the concussion in the one ball game, and the Lakers shooting.
Tyrone Corbin and Malone down inside the paint. The lob to Malone from Stockton.
Nice pass. If you're going to front Karl Malone, you better challenge Stockton on the pass. You cannot give him that free airway to make the lob.
Stockton couldn't get the rebound. Pippen missed the tip in, and Eaton comes away with it.
That's their third offensive second shot.
Malone is 3 seconds.
Oh boy, watch out now. See, Karl Malone is really hot. He's hot because he thought that he got bumped. And then also on the time before down on the low box, he thought that they grabbed his arm when the pass was made inside. Now, the one thing that he cannot afford to have happen here is to get a technical early.
Karl Malone leads the NBA in free throw attempts. He usually gets the calls. A lot of
ball on the floor, and then have someone come over and give you help. You let him stand out there, shoot the ball, he will shoot you right out of the game.
Shooting 45% from the arc the last 11 games.
Well, he has 77 three-point field goals. To put that in perspective, that's more than 7 teams in the NBA, including New York, who has only 72.
Well, John Starks is whistled for the foul. That is his first team foul, first foul of the game. 7:54 left in the first. Heat lead it by 3.
Steve Smith trying to post up against Starks.
Smith, every bit of 6'7", 6'8". The fall away. Shooter's roll.
So they're going to have to make an adjustment. If New York does not double team him, that's a good option for them the entire night.
Ewing tries to take it off the rim. The little reverse goes down. Patrick with 4.
Second shots just compromise your defense. You can play good initial defense. If you don't rebound the ball, Ron, it does not matter.
Wild shot. Shaw works under.
Tracks it down. Pippen is there. He intimidated the shot. Good defense by Scottie Pippen. And then we have a blocking foul on Pippen as he jumped in front of Starks.
Now, Eddie Rush started to call a block, and then he saw Scottie Pippen was going to put the ball on the floor. The minute Scottie had room to put the ball on the floor, watch this now. Misses the shot. Scottie has a chance to put the ball on the floor, which means he has a chance to change direction. And in doing that, it becomes a charge and not a block. Right there, see, he puts it on the floor. The minute it goes on the floor, it's a charge, not a block.
Ewing missing a shot he hit earlier. Oakley keeps it alive. Charles Oakley, kind of an unsung guy in this ball club now. Starks missing. Ewing tries to follow. Cartwright brings it down. 3-on-2. Grant the finish. Oh, he hits hard.
Oh, he went down.
Oh, did he ever. He hit the small of his back. Starks inadvertently went under him, committing the foul, but he hit very hard.
Well, Chicago does not need this. I mean, they're without
foul.
Now, in the early going, we showed you that Mills was going to start off on Parrish. That time, Rodman was on Parrish. We will see Rodman change up defensively throughout this entire game. Sometimes he'll be on Parrish, sometimes he'll be over picking up Gamble, and then they'll also play him on Abdel Nabi.
Parrish with that good night last night we're talking about, not hitting the free throw. This is a good free throw shooting team. They're hitting 78%. That's what he did. 16 points, 17 rebounds. They are 4th in the league, but they don't get to the free throw line enough. They've been at the free throw line 30 times in 11 different games.
Well, you know, you got to think about that a second, Gary. That's one of their main problems. They're basically a jump shooting team.
So that's a 2 from outside.
And speaking of jump shooters, this guy's on fire.
He is numbers as you look at him. He's averaging over 23. Last year was under 20. All his percentages are up.
The perimeter guys, you really don't have to do that because they've got a number of big people who have no range.
So why get out and play? Slough in a little bit and help out Dale Ellis on the post-up man.
Spacing bad by San Antonio results in a foul instead of a turnover. That'll be on B.J. Armstrong.
Everyone talks about the Bulls struggling, but the Bulls are still holding you to 99 points a game. And there you can see he did hit. He hit early on that before the steal was made. They're still holding you to 99 points. A year ago, they gave up 99 points during the 82-game schedule.
8 minutes left in the first. Ellis looking on top. Robinson takes the 16. Reed, a good offensive rebound. Can't put it away.
San Antonio right down at the bottom of the league in offensive rebounding.
Grant over Robinson. Horace Grant says a lot of his
basket had a foul before the putback. It's on West, his first.
It's a good foul, though. You do not want to give Horace Grant the easy bucket.
13-4 Phoenix. The Bulls got 43 points against Phoenix in the first quarter when the two teams met the first time in Phoenix back in November. Jordan open for the jumper for 19. Buries this one. Michael's first field goal of the night. He is 1 for 3, and Stacey King is going to get into this game for the Chicago Bulls.
Now, see, Stacey's a little bit more of an offensive threat in the first ball game between these two teams. He got off 13 shots in only 22 minutes.
Jordan isolated against Barkley, isolated against Grant. Nice pass inside. Ceballos misses. West rebound.
See, that's a guy who's a real key. I know I've talked about this about 3 times.
How about the steal and the putback? Phoenix is ready to play in this game tonight. And Pip goes strong. Abdelnaby is fouled as he tries to jam it. Barkley went for the steal and missed it. Mark West gets the personal, his first, and Allah will go to the line.
This is an example. We're going to show it to you again of throwing up weak stuff. When you are a pivot guy right now playing against a good defensive team and taking on a shot blocker, 2 hands on the ball, go with the strong dunk, and then put his arm off of the front of that rim as he fouls it. Give yourself a chance to make a 3-point shot.
Abdelnaby was saying, Hubie, I thought that was strong. But you're right. It's got to be double strong against a guy like Mark West. Mark West, by the way, for Phoenix, playing with a sore back. He gets spasms. It'll tighten up on him often during the ballgame.
One of the all-time great shot blockers in the history of this league, and he was waived twice. He stayed in this league because of shot blocking and rebounding. The high percentage shot
from Cedric Ceballos, Mark West.
John Starks is not.
Elliott tries to force the shot up, but at least San Antonio is showing a little intensity in the early going, something they didn't have against Cleveland the other night on TNT. Oakley can't get it. Smith tries to keep the ball alive. The beast, Anthony Mason, with the putback.
Hey, right now, Ewing's out of the game. They go in there and they shoot, and they get 3-second shot attempts. And you say, why? Because everyone is getting out of there, and they leave Larry Smith in there versus Oakley, Mason, and Charles Smith. It doesn't work that way, guys. If San Antonio is going to get it done, you better see 3 shirts in there every single time.
Well, San Antonio turns it over with the traveling call. The Knicks' magic number is 4 to clinch the Atlantic Division title. Smith all the way is whistled on the play. Combination of wins or Celtic losses will give them the Atlantic crown.
You know, Ron, a lot of times when you're at home, you would rather the star player of the other team not get in foul trouble early and then sit in down. Really, yeah.
That should have been the foul. Now, as he comes back up, see, Buck hits him again with the forearm. So really, we could have given Buck 2 fouls. He should have 3 by now.
Well, he's got 2 for the night, and he's going to sit down. And very unusual for Buck Williams to even talk to an official. Second turnover for Utah.
Well, the reason why everybody's upset is they know Karl Malone now, is going to have an easy time of it.
Inside, Bryant gets everybody up in the air, and he draws the whistle.
Right now, the Portland staff has got to say to themselves, Duckworth, we hope, has come to play tonight. Because we're going to need his boards, we're going to need a little shot blocking, and we're going to need him to establish a low post game.
The numbers on Bryant, the 5th-year pro out of Seton Hall. He'll be celebrating his 28th birthday on the 25th of April.
Yeah, but you know what? Rick Adelman knows they're going to need an active Duckworth. You see the foul there on Porter. But Gary, what happens is you become a very small team. Mark Bryan is oversized or undersized in there against the opposing big players. And what you do is you get manhandled against a bigger team. So he can get by right now because he's playing against the Tom Chambers. In the first round, it looks like they're going to be playing David Robinson. So that's where they need an active Kevin Duckworth to give him a big body to play against Robinson.
Porter goes out with his second foul. Strickland comes in, and a baseline move by Barkley. And Barkley is just like in mid-season form after being out 5 games on the injured list. He's 6 of 8 from the field.
Simplest play in basketball, the give and go, screen and roll, and Kevin Johnson does it very well. Barkley slipped it.
Illegal defense, first time, the warning now against the Phoenix Suns. And here is Clyde, and they are 20-10 with him out of the lineup, as Ellie now will go to line.
He had knee operation. The knee is fine. Then he tore a calf muscle, and he feels right now that it's almost 100%. He says, I know I can go 30 minutes, and it's nice to see them going back, how they won the championships for 2 years, start the game off, go strong to Cartwright, and let's see what the defense is going to do.
6 points, make it 7 for Cartwright. He hit 3 field goals in a row as the Bulls are on a 13-2 run. Morning sits down with 2 fouls, and Kenny Gaddison is in at center as Charlotte gets very small.
Now right now Chicago showed you their 1-2-1-1 full court press that time, and it's good to see because I know that New York will be seeing a lot of this on Sunday.
Pippen blows by Newman, dishes to Michael Jordan. It goes off the Bulls. It'll be Charlotte ball, trailing by 7. It was tied at 10.
Scotty tried to make a tough pass that time. I thought that the defense recovered.
Talking about Tony Kukoc, who comes in here as generally considered the best player in the world outside the NBA. But in the meantime, Charlotte gets the jam. It's tied at 15. Kukoc at 6'10". Number 7 with the ball. Doug, this guy has got a lot of talent.
Excellent passer. Very good deep shooter right now. A step slow defensively, trying to catch the speed of the NBA game. Right now defensively is where he struggles. Now the Bulls like to pressure after made field goals many instances. They tried to do it against Muggsy Bogues. He split it for an easy score. I don't think they can press Muggsy Bogues.
Their Kukoc is trying to guard Johnny Newman, who's lightning quick. Got a test early on defense for the 6'10 Kukoc. Newman faced up with him one-on-one right now. Into Mourning, who pushed off Cartwright, got away with it. He gets the lay-in from Johnny Newman.
Smart to get him involved.
Myers misses. Horace Grant doing what he does best, offensively rebound.
By the scouts. Parrish, the high archer. Bradley, there you see what he is so effective at defensively. He may not block the shot, but he will get you to change it.
Yeah, but the other thing with that, though, Ron, and it's good that he goes for the block shots, but if you think just to last night alone, when they gave up something like 19 offensive rebounds to the New York Knicks, it takes him out of the flow, and he's no factor rebounding that way.
Dawkins with the shot clock at 10. Weatherspoon on Gammon. He's a second-team all-rookie last year. Throws up the air ball. Boston wants to push it. They feel that Philadelphia does not get back quickly on defense.
Another time right there where Bradley just forced the Celtics to think about their offense just a little longer, but Gamble's going to knock that one down every time.
Well, Philadelphia really didn't rotate anybody over on Gamble. The Sixers lead cut to 1 at 9-8. 6:50 left to play in the first.
Because of their traps.
In New York, Billy Cartwright shoots 56% and 79 on the foul line, while averaging 18 points a game during 7 years.
That's good coaching by those Knicks coaches.
No. That was smart coaches going to a guy who you know can shoot a high percentage.
Okay, we'll take that. Shot clock inside of 10. Kemp gets away with a push, but he gets the sugary move. Kemp shoved Bill Cartwright right in the back, got away with it. Here's Myers, left open from 17. He has been struggling from the field. Grant giving Shrimp a lot of room. Perkins. He is 14 of 22, better than 62% from the arc.
If you play Perkins with a center's inclination is to get back in and help out. And consequently,
as we see the offensive rebound there by Chris Webber. So right now the early rest for Shaquille O'Neal is something that Brian Hill just has to do at this point in the season.
So Greg Kite comes in, picks up a foul. Shaquille O'Neal had picked up his first foul before he took a breather, and it's still a 5-point lead for Golden State. 5:30 to go in this first quarter. Hardaway, who had 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists in the last game. Tipped out, Anderson saves it. Billy Owens really hustling on defense. And we're going to have a foul away from the ball. Joe Forte picking that one up is now Chris Gatling. No, it's going to be illegal defense. That's their second, so it'll be a technical. Chris Gatling now coming into the ball game. Gatling has been hurt. You can see his shooting hand, his left hand is wrapped. He has a dislocated knuckle on that hand, and that has slowed him. So who hasn't been hurt on this Golden State team?
Well, Chris Gatling gives them a very live body off the bench, a guy who can jumpstart their team. So Don Nelson likes to bring...
Inside on the undersized Pete Myers, dishes to AC Green. Rebound Horace Grant, already has 2 so far tonight. Pippen kicks it to Myers.
When you play versus Phoenix, you must watch tempo. Tempo is the key. They want the game to be at 115, 120.
King drives, West fouls him.
And even though you're at home, you must say to yourself, you take the break when it's there. When it is not, let us get into our offense so that we get the high percentage shots. You cannot go off and play one-on-one, because then as they move along through the 48 minutes, all of a sudden you're getting away from what you do best, and then your low field goal percentage will start to prop up as we continue over the 48 minutes.
Oliver Miller is coming in for West. Oliver Miller, a very improved player, and Paul Westphal told us today that he doesn't want to pump his head up too much, doesn't want to brag on him too much, but says he's really producing for this team.
Dan Issel has the attention of this young team, the youngest team in the NBA, the Denver Nuggets. Rauf averaging over 22 points a game. He's led them in scoring in 11 of the games thus far. Here is Stiff.
Well, you see, Muggsy Bogues will play him tight and jam him. I talked to Bogues during the shoot-around, and he told me that he was going to try not to give him any space.
That's going to help Rodney Rogers after missing those 3 shots earlier.
Larry Johnson is not a shot blocker, and he allows you to shoot over the top of him that well.
Horning pulling it up from outside. Look at this hook delivered by Rodney Rogers, the Wake Forest rookie, and he's fouled. Burrell commits a foul, and Rodney Rogers playing with a lot more confidence. He got up so slowly this year, went in against the Phoenix Suns, blocked a shot by Charles Barkley. Barkley came back and hammered him, and since then he's played with more confidence.
Well, you're going to see this is nice also. You can see that he's having difficulty getting the ball, but he understands that he should take it all the way.
You know, this
is already in the first quarter.
Orlando's been struggling defensively the last 3 games. They've been giving up just over 108 a game. Knight from the left side, he buries it.
That's going to be the key to this ball game, because San Antonio is going to have to make some outside jump shots, Ron. They're going to go back in anytime David Robinson gets to the post, and they're going to double team him. Miguel Knight's hit a couple jumpers now. Now you've got Dale Ellis shooting the basketball. Real key for the Spurs.
Here we see how San Antonio's bounced back after missing their first 4. Only one team's been able to score over 100 points against San Antonio this year. That was the Phoenix Suns.
There's a play that they love to run, the alley-oop, more than any team in the league. That time they misfired.
Anthony Hardaway, pretty good defense. Loose ball. Anderson gets it over to Rodman, who keeps it alive. Knight over Turner. Robinson gets Shaquille out of the way. The left hand, Shaquille got a piece of it.
See, Dennis Rodman wouldn't shoot the ball. He hands it to Willie Anderson, so he gets an offensive rebound.
5 on the shot clock. Todd Day had to launch that prayer rebound. Allen Houston.
The Pistons did a good job posting up as the mismatch occurred down low. Avent had Allen Houston.
Woods got this 3.
They really like Wood here. You can also play him at a couple of positions, but when you're lacking production off the bench, you just need a guy that can come in and score. Wood has done that with San Antonio. He did it with Houston. Offensive foul on Avent. They'll run it the other way.
Our officials, by the way, we neglected to introduce them earlier. Ken Maurer, Joe Borgia, and Paul Mahalik calling tonight's ball game here at the Palace. Rakowski into the ball game. That foul was on Avent, his second, by the way. See Ken Norman and Lee Mayberry going to the bench for Milwaukee as Murdoch checks back in.
Side, as you might imagine, at 6.
Harper, he walked with it. We'll go the other way. First Dallas turnover. Boy, I tell you, Doug, we've seen Portland a lot the last couple of years with basically, as we talked about, the same nucleus, but tonight they look very lethargic. They don't look like they have any type of intensity.
Well, we talked about that warming up. Drexler with the outside jump shot. Clyde has really been struggling with his perimeter shooting on the season, shooting only 41%. From the three-point line, shooting 26%.
How about 5 points against Orlando?
Yeah, that's why I expected him to come out and really look to have a big night. That's a tough shot by Greg Dreiling. That's really not his shot.
Watch Drexler going up against Jackson. Now watch the way when he goes up, he sort of kicks his legs on the jump shot.
Well, he's always been an unorthodox shooter in that he shoots off his right foot, and normally right-handed jump shooters use their left foot as their shot, as the foot that they get prepared to shoot with. So he's always been unorthodox. His legs have not been as strong in the last couple of years. His shot has been flat.
Punched away by John Starks. 3 seconds on the shot clock. And the foul is on Starks, his first. Starks, by the way, was roundly booed when he was introduced to this crowd tonight. They remember him from the playoffs, of course, last year. And the rivalry that has developed the last couple of years. The Bulls have been the Knicks' nemesis, really, the last 3 years.
Well, the Knicks are so tenacious defensively, as long as they can get you to run your half-court offense. The way that you hurt the Knicks is in transition and in second shots.
Off the curl, B.J. Armstrong back to Myers as it's stripped away. 2 Bulls turnovers already. They're averaging 18 turnovers a game. Anthony left alone. Can he hit the open shot? That is the question of this young guard.
Nice pass.
Armstrong can hit the open shot. He's averaging nearly 19 a game. The Bulls are 4 out of 5 from the floor and have an 8-4.
To Shaquille.
And thus far, they have not done that. They have really spread it around effectively. And it goes to Barkley, rejected by Shaquille. Barkley will remember he's in the vicinity the next time. Off it comes. Anderson, a little bit out of control, but he's fouled as he ducked inside. And Nick Anderson is fouled by A.C. Green. And again, that's what we talked about. Nick Anderson can take the ball to the hole.
See, Orlando did not play yesterday. They came in here after the Clipper game. They did not work out, and they look to have fresh legs right now. They look very energetic.
The Suns, for some reason, thought there was a timeout. They were sitting down and had to get off the bench and come back.
Here's the double team help. Shaquille coming down. And if Charles has a difficulty with his size, it's sometimes shooting over bigger players. Chicago bothered him last year in the finals with Horace Grant.
But he will adjust. That's the thing about Charles. He will adjust his game. 6-4, the Magic by 2. Inside 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Marley trying to rub Hardaway off. Inside to A.C. Green. Nice catch, and he's fouled by Shaquille O'Neal. A.C. Green.
It's a back screen that time for Shaquille, and here's where he's improved his game. Passing out of the double teams. When you play Orlando, now this is a team that averages 13 three-point attempts per game, and they're one of the top teams in the league in making the three-point shot.
When Dennis Scott comes into the game, their average goes up in about the first minute he's on the floor. Dennis is their three-point specialist as there is such. He hit his first 3 last night against New York, but then missed 3 big ones down the stretch.
Now, I like this. Have Nick Anderson take on Scottie Pippen. See, that's a smart move. Nick Anderson is an excellent player from the foul line down, coming from his days as a forward at Illinois. And anytime that you either post them up or you give him that look right there where he faced, that's a tough cover for Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen now, first team all defense the last 2 years in the NBA, but it's still a tough cover.
Looking for Shaquille, not there. They go back out to Skiles, who misses the 3. Stacey King.
Over for the Rockets. Magic by 2. Shaquille just knocks Akeem Olajuwon over, and Shaq, who has been having a running battle with officials as of late, had no complaint on that one.
Well, I think his reaction after the call here is going to be important. I think he sends a message to the officials that I'm not going to get into an arguing match with you here tonight. I'm going to let you call it. I'm going to play the game. And what Brian Hill over on the Magic bench wants him to do is let Brian do the arguing with the officials. Right. He has to stay in the game.
Well, Akeem had 2 flagrant fouls called against him on Saturday night against Washington, bringing his total to 4. Of course, you get up to 6, you're suspended. One of those flagrant fouls was taken back today by the NBA. Rod Thorne and our friends of the NBA review just about every game.
The Magic lobbied very, very aggressively to get one of those, at least one of those flagrants taken away. They thought both of them were unnecessary calls.
Well, credit to the league, they review every flagrant foul. Michigan State. Now 6 of 8 from the field in this opening quarter, opening up a 6-point lead.
Looked like Muggsy Bogues did something to his leg. He's limping right now. They cannot lose him.
6 points for Hersey Hawkins, 6 of the Hornets' 10 points. And you're right, Muggsy Bogues is walking very gingerly down that court as Latrell Sprewell drains another 3 to make it 17-10.
That's 8 quick points for Sprewell. We played just over 4 minutes. He has 8 points on 2 for 2 from 3-point shooting.
17-10, the nice pass inside, but the rebound picked off by Sprewell. Warriors on the run. Down to Billy Owens, getting past Bogues, sending it outside to Mr. Jennings. Gets away from his man, the jumper good, and it's 19-10.
See, the threat of the 3-point shot, when you just show what guys are going to run at you, Jennings did a nice job getting inside for the 2. Look at Mr. Look at Mr. Jennings standing beside Muggsy Bogues. I mean, Mr. Jennings is so small. Look at him, Eddie Johnson. He walks.
Might be is that it's hard to defend the plays, and that enables them to get second and third shots. So 5th in the league in offensive rebounds per game.
Cage lobbing to Trent. The handoff to Kemp. George Karl said today, we're talking to him about balance. He says he thinks it's the year of the pass. You don't see the dominating scorer with the retirement of Jordan. For instance, his leading scorer, 17.5 points a game from Kemp. They have 6 players in double figures.
Yeah, and for Seattle, it's important for them to keep the ball moving on offense, and we've seen that already in this game.
3 seconds on the shot clock. Go to the man,
yes.
Hakeem Olajuwon. He has 8. 4 out of 5 from the floor. Kemp isolated against Thornton. Now the double team, illegal defense called against Houston.
You know, when you've got 2 teams.
Returns for his 12th game after having a torn calf muscle. Scores quickly for Charlotte.
Oh, look at this. Trapping in the back. Trapping here now. Great move.
That's what he calls his red defense. Allen Bristol, they come out trapping, pick you up the half-court line, and it pays a dividend early.
Larry Johnson looked pretty good going down there that time, didn't he?
That sprained back that kept him out for 31 games is starting to come around. He's still not 100%.
Now, as you're watching, see, anytime that Oakley's man takes the ball out of bounds or Ewing's man, what will happen there is they will use that guy as the double teamer at half court.
Ewing can't get it. Charles Oakley tried to save it. He's over the end line, and it'll go to the Charlotte Hornets.
Now, you can feel the anticipation here tonight, Gary. Not only the Charlotte, they want to know how good are we right now with our people back, but also the Knicks know that this is a tough game for them.
7 of 10 they've won since Mourning and Johnson have returned. Here's LJ. He's had the back hurt twice, hurt it first.
Minute mark of the first. Glad to be with us tonight. A lot of basketball on TNT this week. Williams, we've got 3 seconds in the lane, something you don't usually see in the NBA. Talk about David Robinson working in the paint. How about on the defensive end?
Well, he's 3rd in the league in block shots, and here's one of the reasons why. He comes over from the weak side. David Robinson on the season has 232 block shots, averaging about 3.5 per game.
Now Ellis met by Phil's way out front. Chris Mills will check in the lineup for the Cavs. Robinson will pull up 14-footer, doesn't get it. Phil's going high for the rebound. Bobby Phil's the 3rd-year pro out of Southern. Phil's trying to get free from Miguel Knight. Price wheeling around, look to see where Ellis was. The bank is closed.
His shot the last time he took the ball inside. None of that's going to happen now.
Mild manner this. that was the most vicious I've seen this year. That ranks up with John Starks and the Knicks Bulls in the playoffs last year when he came in with the left hand. Smith inside, Herrera drops it through.
Well, this is a guy that the Rockets usually don't look for his offense. If he scores, he gets it off the offensive boards normally.
Rockets with a 6-point advantage. They're doing it with Hakeem taking a breather. And Maxwell. Inside, Chris Mullen, the left hand won't go. Here comes Cassell.
You know, I think that's an indication, a good indication right there of the problems Mullen's still having handling that basketball.
His first miss, 7 for 8. Mullen beating Cassell down court. Nice job defensively just to hold up the offense.
Nice pass. But Mullen's still having trouble catching the basketball. I mean, it just doesn't look comfortable. I mean, you think back to before that injury. I mean, he gets a 15
Back from that knee that's been getting in a lot of trouble. You can see that custom-made brace has graphite material in it. Still is very cumbersome to play with.
Yeah, it's a bulky brace, and he's not really comfortable with it right now, but they need him to score. They need 15, 17 points a game from him.
Leaning in is Dennis Scott, and Patrick Ewing with a rejection. Out it comes to Oakley. Charles Oakley at 7.6 rebounds in the loss to the Nets yesterday, and he hits there. That had stopped a 5-game streak where he was in double-double performances.
Well, Charles Oakley is one of the better 17-foot jump shooters on this New York team, so look for him to take a lot of those shots with another forced turnover.
Harper saved it. Off it comes to Hubert Davis. Davis is one of the guys, one of the 3 guys who started the last 19 games for the Knicks when they made that change. They've gone 16-3 since that time. Here's the other one, Derek Harper.
In 2 possessions, a steal and a block shot for New York. That bodes well for them tonight.
You think the resolve is there, huh? Here is Patrick Ewing, the putback. And it won't go. Smith holding the boards. Blocked by Jeff Turner. They'll bring it back outside.
This is the second shot.
You're going to show it. See, here's Rodman fronting. There's the lob, which you would naturally look for. Then David Robinson will come on the double team. Plus, you have the advantage of Robinson being your weak side rebounder.
Thorpe with the right hand won't go. Rodman touch it. Vinny Del Negro saves it. 2-0.
There it is. That's the one. Horry must pay attention and get right up on top of Ellis.
Now, Maxwell was spotting up for the 3. They didn't get it over to him quickly enough. Works off a pick by Thorpe. Robinson has to come out, but Maxwell buries it. He's averaging 13.7 a game.
John Luke is very concerned about the quickness of the Houston guards, especially off the dribble.
Del Negro almost triple teamed. They worked on this in practice, just swinging the ball over to the weak side. Shot clock at 4.
The availability of their talent.
Very well off the dish from Hardaway. Wisely holds it up. This is Victor Alexander. This is his first game back. Shaq hands it off to Penny Hardaway. He has Royal on the left. Anderson won't get it. Avent had it, lost it. Sprewell comes up with a loose rock, doesn't stay with the ball.
Well, in this early going, they're getting the garbage balls.
Hardaway for 3. Long shots, long rebounds.
When you shoot close to 23s, you take that shot. Most teams would have made the pass because there was a 3-on-1 below the foul line, Ron. But you stay with your philosophy. Okay, the philosophy here is you shoot the 3. And any time that a team is averaging 25% of their points in 3, they'll do that all the time.
Well, Anthony Hardaway, who's shooting 39% from the arc, gets his first 3 of the night. He has 7 in the game. Last shot should belong to.
See what happens tonight with Scotty back in the lineup.
You know, one thing you lose when you lose players like Michael Jordan and Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright and Paxson and all the rest of them that have departed the Chicago Bulls team, you lose that little bit of intimidation that you have on the opponent, whether you're home or away. And that combined with the brand new building, which doesn't bring back those old memories, makes Chicago a little bit more beatable now no matter where they play.
And I think that people come in with the attitude that this is a very beatable team. Let's play them well and let's take our chances, and that's what they've done this year, and they're 5-6 at home.
You saw tonight's officiating crew: Lee Jones, Bennett Salvatore, and Gary Benson, away or underway. Chicago under control. B.J. Armstrong picked up by Mark Jackson. You see Jackson wearing that wrap around his left knee that he hyperextended in the game at Market Square Arena a couple of nights ago. Harper. Bring it back outside to B.J. Armstrong, around to Scottie Pippen, wide open for a 3. Rebound, Rick Smits.
The struggle from outside. He's been a career 19-point-a-game scorer, only scoring 8.8 here in Chicago. This is Gill. Purdue.
Look out.
Pass almost blocked by Gill, but Harper got it from Purdue and lays it in. Bulls up 4-2.
Anytime that you miss in this building, Chicago is looking for the long pass and the leak out. Get going out in transition.
Cartwright misses the jump hook over Purdue, and here comes Kukoc on the run. He's the best handling power forward in the league, would you say?
Well, that's a very good point, Bob, because right now you can release your guards because he's the best passer out on the floor for the Bulls.
Armstrong from Purdue. This is the 3. Kukoc misses the rebound. Payton out to Shrimp for the jam. Nice pass from Gary Payton.
Chicago's key tonight must be transition defense. You've got to cut down your turnovers, and if you do turn it over, they cannot get a call down there.
Brian Williams, 2 arms on Shaquille, and he is called for the foul as Mutombo gets back in. A reminder, coming up on Tuesday night, Ron Thulin and Doug Collins will be in Chicago for the San Antonio Spurs and the Bulls. And by the way, we'll have more on this at halftime. I understand Dennis Rodman did not show up at practice at San Antonio today. Shaw for 3.
Well, Brian Shaw not only was a good pickup for the defense and the point guard position, but he's an excellent 3-point threat. That's the 23rd one that he's made this year.
Robert Pack with the drive. That's what Pack brings, an incredible ability to drive and to penetrate. And Shaquille O'Neal just picked up his 3rd foul, and we're going to get him out of the game and Tree Rollins in very quickly.
Well, they're going right into the Shaq man's face. Now, Robert Pack is fearless. You know, he's only 6'2", explosive jumper. He will.
Chicago comes in with a record of 20-19. Surprisingly, Doug, only 12-10 at home, and that equals their last 2 years as far as the number of losses they've had in Chicago.
Well, I think also, too, when you look at the record, they're 6-7 at home against teams below 500. Really, that's been the enigmatic part of this team this year, is they just can't figure out why we're playing well against the good teams and not so well against the poor teams. And again, I think it's energy level and the fact that some of these teams that have been poor in the past have just come in and realized the Bulls aren't as invincible as they once were. Now, one of the things about San Antonio, we talked to Bob Hill today, he said, we've been getting off to slow starts. Another reason why maybe he started Dennis Rodman, to get them out of the gate quickly.
Give him a little energy, a little enthusiasm.
Well, we know he's going to bring them energy.
Oh, yes. Here's Avery Johnson with the ball, the 7th-year pro out of Southern. Celebrating his 30th birthday in just a couple of months. Vinny Del Negro took over the starting 2-guard spot for San Antonio.
See, this
121 this year, so he's well on his way. This season he's setting a new career mark. Doubled by Miami, whistle, and a foul.
Well, you can see the matchups, Ron. Matt Geiger is playing against Tony Kukoc. And Matt Geiger will be the guy that's going to have to try to keep Tony in front of him and not let him get to the basket. So that's a matchup we want to keep our eye on, because the mobility of Tony Kukoc, being able to drive to the basket, could create all kinds of problems.
There's Kukoc. Owens comes out at him. Owens at 6'9", but Kukoc is very crafty, and that is what one thing Alvin Grinchey was afraid of, is Kukoc using that little fake up and under move. But he wasn't able to connect.
Miami would like to run into early offense, get the ball in the post to Kevin Willis.
Exactly what they do. Willis can't connect the outlet to Myers. Starting his 2nd game in place of Ron Harper. Ron Harper came into Monday's game against Atlanta starting 52 straight games, but now it is Pete Myers taking his place.
Well, Ron, big problem now. Bimbo Coles just picked up his 2nd foul, and we have not.
Also played with Elliot Perry at Memphis State. Kevin Johnson missing. Nate McMillan. And the Sonics have a 3-on-3 break.
Right now the Sonics are small, with Vinny Askew playing that small forward position.
They love to post up Gary Payton off the break.
But, you know, you look at Payton, he looks small. He's 6'4", legitimate 6'4", with long arms.
We have the first Sonics lead since it was 3-2. 3:12 to go in the first quarter.
You expect peaks and valleys game here tonight.
Tisdale pounds it inside. And Wayman Tisdale is definitely gaining in confidence. We've seen a lot of Phoenix games this year as the season goes along.
Oh, what now that was a great athletic move. Unfortunately, he got down where he could not use the board.
Another steal for the Sonics. Payton, football pass, played by Kevin Johnson. He's calling it goaltending. Count the basket.
See you.
Well, Kukoc from the outside. Perimeter game for the Bulls thus far. Magic by 2. Donald Royal. O'Neal. Double team from Kukoc. Nice dish. Royal. Beautiful trigger by Pippen to knock it away. Tony Kukoc.
Finish it off. That's what he had to do. It wasn't pretty, but he was able to get that ball. Nice steal down there by Pip.
Pippen leads the NBA in steals, almost 3 per game. 6.5 to go. First quarter. Hardaway with a nice move around the Grant screen. Horace spots up from 20. Horace Grant shooting exceptionally well in the last 3 games, shooting well over over 50%, and he had a big game last night. 11 of 16 from the field to go along with 23 points. Break of the action. Phil Jackson of the Bulls will talk it over. Chicago trailing.
Antonio Davis, the Davis brothers, not really related, play like brothers for the rebound. Reggie Miller. Tough angle off the glass. Both Davis boys face it. It's out of bounds off New York. Indiana ball.
Look at the muscle on that front line, man. Look out there. Mason, Ewing, Oakley, the Davis brothers, and Derek McKee. Now,
is this the Eastern Conference?
Now, let me tell you something. To go in there and get a rebound, you better be fearless.
You don't make a mistake that we're out west right now, do you? Antonio Davis can't handle it.
Now they're going to bring in Charles Smith, another big body. I mean, he's not a guy that you would consider a big banger, but I mean, at 6'10", another big body. So both of these teams well equipped to do well in the playoffs because of the size on their front line. I think the big questions on both of the teams would be how well do they shoot the ball and can they score? Both of these teams go through stretches, Bob, where they
knocked into Jay. That's been games. Grant has averaged 13 points and 10 rebounds. Tonight already is 6. 5 to shoot. The double by Richmond. Inside, Reggie Williams got right around Spud Webb.
Well, you see, that's supposed to be the weakness of Dikembe Mutombo, is the inability to pass the ball accurately out of a double team. He showed that time he could find the open man, threaded the needle, found Reggie Williams.
Last 2 games, Reggie Williams has led this team in scoring. He's picked up the slack with Mahmoud Al-Roof sitting down. Richmond is just swarmed over and picked off by Graham. They are all over Mitch Richmond the second he touches the basketball. Mutombo, the big right hand, knocks it home.
Dikembe Mutombo is a predictable post-up player. If he gets the ball on the left block facing, he's going to turn to his left shoulder.
Got a bright future, but he has to learn while playing.
Chris King out of Wake Forest. Took over as the starting small forward as LA forces the turnover.
Oh, nice no look.
Yeah, it was. Buried to Sealy, and it's 4-0. Clippers forced a lot of turnovers, over 18 a game last year, and they get a transition basket here and lead 4-0. Almost a minute into our first quarter here in Vancouver. Boy, what a city this is. Wraparound pass. Kenny Gaddison won't go. Rebound fought. Brent Berry, right wing. Hard drive. Shows the ball. Lays it in. It's 6-0 Los Angeles.
Vancouver doesn't get back any better than that. Force the Clippers to play 5-on-5. This game will be decided early. You've got to get back and force the other team to play 5-on-5.
A whistle on the play. Brian Williams picks up the foul. Brian Winters Ball Club saw this happen too.
Because he's a veteran and he has got a little bit better class around him. Traveling Stoudemire got airborne before he realized he hadn't taken the dribble. Turnovers so far 5 for Toronto, none for Seattle.
You know, Sonics have started off 3 for 11, now 4 for 12 in shooting this first quarter. I always hated playing in these domes. It's always a tough place to shoot.
Why so?
Now the basket's just kind of hanging out there in the middle of nowhere. There's not a good background like there is in regular gyms, regular arenas.
Thrown away, that Sixer. Oh, no, not this one was tipped by Perkins, I believe. And yet you tell me you played well in Detroit, Silverdome?
I had some good games in the Silverdome. I had some awful bad games there, too.
Stoudemire inbounds. 5:35 to go in the first quarter of play. Anderson right side. Alvin Robertson out of action the last.
The thing I like about him, Chip, is he just flat out does it every night, and he defends.
And with absolutely no flamboyance at all. So does his job. 14 to shoot for LA, enjoying a big lead here at home. Lakers really moving the ball. That was key. 3-point shot won't fall. Rebound. Grabbed by Tyus Edney, and the first break chance for the Kings. Holidays the catch and the walk. 6 Sacramento turnovers.
Well, that's a tough ball for Olden Polynice to handle. I mean, he's a very strong player. He's been playing very well for the Sacramento Kings. However, when you give him the ball out of stride like that, he doesn't have those kinds of hands to catch it and make an in-traffic play like that.
Corey Blunt
Number 43 now in for Del Harris's Lakers. Looking to turn over total. Campbell has his pocket pick. There's the Mitch Richmond defense. 3-on-2. Now 5-on-2 break for Sacramento.
Smits with a one-touch to Dale Davis. Nice ball movement on transition. What Larry Brown likes to call their first option.
Seeing excellent unselfish play here by Indiana.
10 on the shot clock for Sean Elliott. That's a three for Sean.
Sean is shooting 41% in threes. He's 61 for 149, just having a banner season.
With 3:54 to go in the first quarter, Chuck Person's going to get into the game shortly for the San Antonio Spurs. Once again inside. Smits with 7 on the shot clock. Drops it in. He's got that perimeter game, and Rick Smits has 6 points early.
Well, Bob, by posting Derek McKee, they're forcing the double team, and then they have 2 players open on the other side of the floor.
Del Negro with the penetration, and he gets the roll.
There you go. Vinny's got to keep shooting.
28-19, the lead is 9. Sean Kemp is getting a rest. It's Johnson. Vincent Askew, that shot doesn't go underneath. And the rebound in the hands of Michael Cage. He's got 5 rebounds now. Brandon Cage, Bobby Phills, Chris Mills, and Dan Marley.
Michael Cage has been playing a lot of minutes, and I sit there and look at the bench and look at the roster, and I wonder what they're going to do when they decide he needs to get rest, because they got Antonio Lang playing backup center, and Joe Courtney and Danny Ferry, and that could be a problem for him.
And of course, Brad Doherty's status is really undetermined. Out with an injury, back injury, and Mike Fratello said today that they have been told by the doctors we'll give you a progress report at the All-Star break.
It's a little frustrating. They don't know if he'll ever be able to play again, or if they want to use the money to go out and sign a new free agent this summer by waiving him. But I think if there's any chance that Brad Doherty can play, that Cleveland will keep him. Right now they've come in with Danny Ferry, and they're going to play him.
He's having a very difficult time getting down the floor.
Down to Vlade Divac, stolen by Kersey. Magic, because he was laboring, is back on defense. Armstrong with the penetration and the lay-in.
Well, the Magic, see, that's where he's dangerous. As soon as they score, he'll take it out of the net, and look what you got here.
And Nick Van Exel gets the easy lay-in. Magic gets the rest because he got the ball down so quickly. And B.J. Armstrong answers. It's 25-16, Lakers by 9. 5:04 to go in the first period of play. Power forward Magic Johnson laboring in his first return in 4 years. Ed Middleton with the whistle, the foul before the basket. And here it is, the first Magic Johnson basket after 4 years absence.
Now this is an advantage that they'll have anytime that Magic is in the break and he's picked up by the guy who's designated to guard him. And that will be a big forward. He'll be able to take people off the dribble, get the...
And 4 block shots. And for Dallas, 4 block shots is usually at least 15 games during a month. So they're happy to have this guy back. Here comes the trap.
And it's 14 to go in the period. Dallas down 7. Illegal defense called against the Lakers.
See, once you get the ball into the middle of the floor, after they make their first trap, you can take it to the other side of the floor and get a wide open 3. Or if you hold the ball like Jackson did that time, they have to scramble and get to people, or you'll get the illegal zone call.
Minute 10 to go in the quarter. Pick and roll with McLeod and Jason Kidd. Look at that spin move. Goes to the left hand, misses the hoop. Derek Strong rebound. Van Exel. Lakers have the number. Look out for the lob. Van Exel gonna take the 3 and knock it down. Nick Van Exel gets his first points of the game and a 10-point Los Angeles lead. 9-0 run by the Lakers. Jackson posting up inside. He's
out to Brian Stiff. Off the dribble, takes a strong foul.
How do you go against Shaquille O'Neal defensively?
Well, you don't want to get everybody involved. So with Mutombo, I think they're going to try to play him head up. They did that time. McDyess came down a little bit late, and they saw O'Neal go to the basket. But for the most part, it's Mutombo's job. He's got Shaq trying to make him work for every basket he gets.
Stiff gets them both, and the Nuggets off to a quick 6-2 lead. This is
the Denver team that started the season losing its first 6. They went 1-8. They actually got to 510-10. That's the last time they saw that number. And here's Hardaway in the low post.
Well, that's another fairly good.
Del Negro wants to get into the act, and he does with a 3, our first 3 of the night.
Hey, guys are going to start coming down and jacking that ball up, thinking there's something in the air. Everything's going in. Let me get a couple shots up.
Kidd with a bounce pass cross court to pop by Jones. Another open look for him. Dallas by a point. Jones with 6. Elliott with McLeod out on him. Johnson on the penetration, had it slapped away and out of bounds by Jones. And we get a timeout on the floor as Dallas hanging with the Spurs. Not much defense in the early going. Dallas leads by 1. Both teams scoring at will in the early moments at Reunion Arena tonight.
Jimmy Jackson with the spin move, and that move was set up because he was able to go ahead and use his arm to get him off there. David Robinson over.
It's out their style.
Detroit only allowing 83 a game. The bounce pass on the baseline to Dennis Rodman, who gets 2 points. And for Dennis, that's news.
Yes, in a very well executed play. That backdoor play is always there. When they hit the post, they're going to go from the corner. They're going to run that baseline cut. They know how to read it.
And the game is tied at 8 after the Pistons jumped out to a 5-0 lead. 6:33 to go in the period. Shot clock down to 6 seconds for Dumars. Now 3. He's going to take another 3. That's 3 in a row. 3 triples for Dumars. 11, 8, and 9 of those 11 have come from the right wrist of Joe Dumars. Posting up Michael, gets the quick double team. That leaves Harper open for 3. Longley over everybody for the rebound and the foul.
Whoops. Longley really dominating inside.
Forearm, a broken elbow rather, in a preseason game in San Antonio, and will be out until February. Shot short. Rasheed Wallace loses control. Maloney gets it into the hands of Elijah Wan. 3-on-2. Maloney pulls up, and they'll look for Elijah Wan, guarded by Sabonis. Too strong. Loose ball. Barkley chases it down, but Cliff Robinson gets it. 5-4 Blazers lead. Now make it 7-4. Kenny Anderson with 2.
Shooting the ball really well this year. His percentages don't show it. He's had to force some shots, but his three-point shot is as good as I've seen it in a long time.
Now Drexler looks inside for Barkley. Spin move. Traveling. Oh my gosh.
Here we go again. The new call in the NBA this year is traveling. Now the fans have complained that the pro players have traveled. Look at.
Not even Shaquille O'Neal has touched it that much inside.
That was Dumars on a nice move inside, but missing. You can see Joe Dumars has really reasserted himself.
Pass inside to Thorpe. Great pass, high post pass from Rick Mahorn to Thorpe. And, you know, you can talk all you want about the Pistons and their outside shooting, and we showed the graphic, but you better talk about Otis Thorpe's post-up game. They don't get the shots unless he has his post-up game working. Last year, so he wins, so with the Pistons.
8-4 Lakers. 8:13 to go in the first period. And Exel missing the long one. Kept alive by Hunter. Mahorn with another rebound. Rick off to a pretty good start. Dumars tried to hit Thorpe inside, knocked out of bounds by the Lakers. 20 on the shot clock for the Pistons. There's Doug in his no-tie look. Short haircut, lean, mean, trim, fighting machine.
Pretty calm today. When you are, 11-2, you can be reasonably calm.
That was calm for Doug.
Morning third rebound into the hands of Hardaway.
Everything Allen Houston does right now seems like he does it as a second thought instead of first thought. He's a first thought scorer, and that's what he has to be.
Instinctive. Morning. Charlie Ward, no, taken away by Marley. Puts it up, gets the basket to fall, and will shoot a free throw.
Opening the show, we talked about Tim Hardaway. The guy we forgot to mention was Dan Marley. He's also back. I thought early, 2 or 3 years ago, Dan Marley fell in love with his three-point shot. He started shooting it a little bit more, and maybe it was the teams that he was playing on. Now he's driving the ball again. He's banging the boards. He's playing great defense, and he's having a great year.
Of course, Dan spent 7 years with the Suns in Phoenix, then traded to Cleveland in the John Williamson deal. John Hot Rod Williams, rather, and here's, whoops.
Eddie Jones on the run. Byron Scott. Travis Knight has it stripped, the rookie, with the rebound. Good idea, Wilkins getting rid of the ball to little Darrell Armstrong. Orlando with Derek Strong, Darrell Armstrong, Gerald Wilkins on the floor.
They're going to keep riding Cycli. Cycli's very offensive-minded. He was hacked that time. And
Cycli's got 12 points, 5 rebounds already. That's going to be an offensive foul on Derek Fisher.
This is a wild, uncontrolled game.
It's okay. It's okay.
But it's close. Reasonably close.
LA has missed their last 11 shots. How about this? No Laker has even scored a field goal tonight other than Nick Van Exel. Look at that.
4 for 5. The rest of team 0 for 17.
Dolph's baby boy Danny is into the ball game. Danny Shays
coming in. Good start by Phoenix. 5 points in a row and a 7-2 lead.
Phoenix in the backcourt trying to put a little pressure on the Kings, trying to get the game in an up-tempo fashion because they feel they've been playing pretty well when the game is like that.
Richmond going to the hoop, had it knocked away. Williams a recovery and score. Williamson.
Nice little scoop to the inside with a little touch finger roll. Corliss Williamson. He's been working hard on his jump shot too. He's having to shoot it more, so he's working on it and getting better at it.
Shot clock at 10 for Kevin Johnson. Finley working on Richmond. Williamson got a hand on the pass, 3 to shoot, and a foul in the corner. Going to bail the Suns out. The foul is on Williamson, his second.
Corliss Williamson has been working a lot on his jump shot, but right here.
We've got a loose ball foul on the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's on Danny Ferry.
Danny Ferry trying to box Joe Smith off, and Joe Smith, a terrific offensive rebounder, great around the basket, one of our top rookies of last year, runner-up to Rookie of the Year, and playing great basketball.
Speaking of great basketball, Terrell Brandon, point guard here, and interestingly, he's being defended by his former mentor, Mark Price, who of course was the starter. Brandon was the backup when he came into the league here in Cleveland. Here's Hill, who used to be with Golden State himself on the drive, and Felton Spencer commits the personal.
Well, if it's scripted, I'm a little bit surprised. I don't know if you go to Tyrone Hill on a post-up unless you're trying to make a statement, which obviously did. But Tyrone did his job, got to the basket, and in fact, goes to the foul.
Tyrone Hill, you may recall last year, only 3 games into the season, Tyrone was involved in a car wreck, had a bruised spinal column. And
Active he is right here. He misses the shot. He's back on it. He's following it up, and he puts it up again. Obviously, if it's me, I'm fouling him. I'm making him shoot free throws.
Van Exel picked up by Randy Brown. 25-17, 4:13 to go in the first quarter. Entry pass goes awry, picked up by Eddie Jones of Los Angeles. Campbell from the baseline. Rodman to Jordan. Jordan 1-on-4. And a foul is called on Van Exel. That's how much they fear him.
Hey, I tell you what, it was 1-on-4, but Michael Jordan had the advantage.
That's right.
You know, most guys, when you get this, you see 1-on-4, and the coaches stand up and yell, hold it up. Phil Jackson, he said, go for it, Michael. He did have the advantage.
Now the pass, the ball inbounded to Jordan. 3:53 to go. Pippen for 3.
A low look at the turnaround from Horace Grant. Barely catches the rim, but Shaw was there with a long rebound. Right back into Cycli, operating on the other block. Another three-point attempt from Shaw won't go. Ostertag clears the board.
Well, it's good rotation, defensive rotation by Brian Russell in the half-court set to contest that shot of Dennis Scott. That's really all you want to do is make sure you contest it and get it in the hand and the shooter's face.
Karl Malone operating on Grant. No double team and fires up an off-balance shot.
Well, Grant is doing a good job of bumping Karl Malone off of the lane, forcing him to take that dribble.
Baseline pull-up jumper over Hornacek. Gerald Wilkins now on the board.
Wilkins not a great post-up player, but he has pretty good strength and quickness in the low post area, something they can certainly take advantage of against Hornacek.
The lead is now 5. As Brian Russell has it on the far wing. Oster.
The old story of get your body on a big man, no conceding offensive boards when you think the game is going to be close.
Sonics are double teaming every pass into Mourning, who turns around and faces up. Misses the shot over McElvain. Gary Payton with the rebound. The Sonics with the ball and a 3-point lead with 5:40 to go in the first quarter. Bad shot thrown up by Payton. And now the Heat coming back with Hardaway leading the way. Hardaway spots up. Quick shot put up by the Heat. And here's Shrimp.
Deadlift Shrimp, you have another point guard who can handle. He has that type of ability.
And as good a passer for a forward as you'll see in the league. Payton is fouled. No basket. Gary Payton fouled by Tim Hardaway before the shot.
Now Deadlift Shrimp is
thrown away. First turnover of the night.
It's Nick's ball.
Chris Childs. Here's John Wallace, 19 points in the win over Boston at the Garden on Sunday night. That's his season high, and that's a career high. Olajuwon takes it away from Ewing.
And that's what Jeff Van Gundy was worried about early, are the Knicks' turnovers and being scored off a turnover.
Oakley and Barkley, that's for 3 again, too strong. Allen Houston gets the rebound. Knicks will bring it up quickly. Here's Oakley with the jumper at the other end. It's a 4-3 New York game.
Oakley.
Maloney picked up by Childs. Matt Maloney now entrenched at that guard position, having a terrific rookie season after 5 years in the CBA, taken away by Chris Childs. Speaking of a long time in the CBA, Childs 6 teams and 5.
Exactly what Scottie Pippen did. He sees the help. Larry Johnson leaks out, and he banks for a 3, and I think he meant to do that, Vern. I think Scottie Pippen would be a great guy to have on your team if you were playing horse.
Or billiards. Well, Scottie Pippen 2 of 14 and Kukoc 1 of 10 in the loss to Houston on Sunday. And Pippen off to a much better start.
Yeah,
here.
you know who knows that more than them is the Knicks guys, because they know, and as a player, you hate when a guy has a bad game and then you have to play him the next night. You know Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan and Tony Kukoc will come at you tonight.
Larry Johnson in and out. Rebound in the hands of Randy Brown. And Michael Jordan has it in his hands, now picked up by Chris Childs. Kukoc off the bench, replacing Jason Caffey. And here's Pippen.
Fortunately, he missed it.
But then Oakley was fouled on the follow, and so Charles Oakley will go to the free throw line. Oakley had 13 rebounds and the season's high 9 off the offensive glass against Chicago. There are the numbers against Indiana, and Oak always seems to play well against his former team, the Bulls.
One of the best offensive rebounders we have in the NBA. When you're talking offensive board people, you think of Dennis Rodman, you think of Jason Williams, and then you think of Charles Oakley, and then also Barkley as key guys who not only do it during the season, but they do it at playoff time.
They sure do, and that's what you want. You want contending teams to come through in playoff time and not disappear. Oakley, who's an 80% free throw shooter, makes both of them, and the Knicks lead 12-8.
The Knicks are doing a good job in switching all the down screening in this early part of the first quarter.
Rice with a layup, nicely done by Glenn Rice, who's averaging over rebound. We're 2 minutes in at 6-6.
Tonight we have 2 of the top 3 defensive rebounding teams in the league.
Reggie Miller off the glass. He's got 4 early.
I like what Larry Brown's been around basketball since they invented it. And I like his statement about Reggie, the greatest shooter I have ever seen play the game.
Here's Ellie going to the hoop, and Mario Ellie with the basket.
He's the junk man. If he can get it going,
by penetrating off the dribble, because basically he is the only player on the starting unit of Houston who can break the defense down with the dribble.
Miller again. Dale Davis missed the tip, and Willis called for the foul. First foul on Kevin Willis.
If you're going to get an offensive rebound tonight, you're going to be a man, because these teams really put a body on you when the shot goes up.
He's flopping a little bit here. He's trying to draw a foul, and I know when a flop when I see one. I can tell you that right now.
I have learned over the half season we've been together to anticipate a flop call. That one no good. Mario Elie chases it down for Houston. Rockets have lost their last 4. There's the alley-oop to Kevin Willis underneath, and it's knocked away. Elijah Wan saves it. Buck Williams guards him, and the foul is called on Buck Williams.
That's one of the things just Van Gundy is really worried about. He's taking a gamble by putting Buck Williams on him early, because the thought is if he gets in foul trouble, then who do you go to? And you'll probably go to a Herb Williams, or you might even go to a rookie and Walter McCarty and put Charles Oakley on Elijah Wan. Elijah Wan's a tough matchup for them without Patrick Ewing out on the court.
There's Herb Williams, who's only a week shy of his 39th birthday. He started the last 2 games and played 6 and 7 minutes respectively in the Ewing absence. Here's Maloney. Now Kevin with 2 more. And it's a 10-8 game. Miami leads at 7:32 to go in the first quarter of play. Hardaway. Moving screen is called on Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, sitting down with Doug Collins this morning, this is one of the things he said Miami gets away with, and that is setting illegal screens. And he said the guy who does it the most is Alonzo Mourning. I wondered, did Doug have a little chat with the referees before the game, because they called that one awful quick.
Alonzo Mourning he's been plagued by foul problems this season. Here's Thorpe to Rattler. Nice strong move. Nope. Another offensive foul.
Yeah,
yep.
We can get used to that. There's going to be some bodies on the floor tonight. These guys, they take charges. I mean, look at this. It was actually 2 guys there waiting. If he had got by P.J. Brown, Alonzo was going to take the fall.
Don Reed was getting ready to come in. Now he'll wait.
Fritz and Ted Bernhardt and David Jones you're looking at.
Going to be interesting to see if Brian Hill makes an adjustment, if they're going to continue to use Hardaway on the post or bring him outside and let him create from outside.
A couple of coaches who've done a good job. There's several candidates for Coach of the Year. Brian Hill needs to be considered for how he held the team together with all those injuries. Grant Hill from about 17 feet, 6 points, 3 assists for Grant.
That's the pickle you're in if you keep backing off. Now he makes that shot. You know, you say, well, we can't keep letting him penetrate. Now you back off. He nails it.
Hill rules are maybe coming soon, huh?
They're on their way.
Now, who got that tip in? Horace Grant made the drive, and they're going to give him the tip in. He has 6 now. That stopped an 8-0 Detroit run. Grant Long gets in the game, we're going to have a plethora of Grant.
Involved like that there.
Malone fouled by Cadillac Anderson, but it's almost as if there's nobody there.
Yeah, you obviously, the one guy you don't want driving to the basket is Karl Malone. You know, coaches teach or preach to their players to set up and get charges. There's not a lot of guys in the league who wants to get in the way of that freight train.
And Herrera's hiding behind the mask. Malone with a 3-point play, and it's a 7-point Jazz lead now with 7:45 to go in the opening quarter. San Antonio 5-19 on the road to complement their problems. Here's the pick and roll with Avery Johnson. There's the reach in. That's the 3rd time already that they've reached in and knocked the ball loose.
It's really something smart to teach your players. If you're beat, you reach.
Shot blocked, off the backboard, fumbled. Look what I found. Easy, wide open.
Rick Smits with 8 points, 3 for 6, 2 boards, and 2 blocks already here tonight against McIlvaine. McIlvaine playing about 20 minutes a game, speaking of that. They signed him to a $70 or $35 million deal to replace Irvin Johnson in the middle. You know, George Karl wouldn't say it. I'm not so sure he's been that happy with McElvain.
Yeah, there's some concern, but he also talked about him being a rookie for the Ambonetta system. Going back to Smits, he got the message this evening in the sermon.
Apparently. Good point. Craig Sager.
Well, Rick Smits also hurt his hip last night. They had the 22nd timeout earlier tonight when he re-aggravated it. They called a timeout. They put a pad on his right hip to protect it.
Thanks, Craig. And I think, Chuck, your point is well taken. The sermon from Rabbi Brown, as Craig put it, really got to Rick Smits. Now he has all 10 points. This is Jordan-esque.
That happens to a lot of guys when they come to a new team, especially a guy with the stuff that he has behind him. You know, he has a lot of criticism on his shoulder right now, and he wants to clear all that.
Gary Payton waits, and it's picked off by P.J. Brown. The pass intended for McElvain. Now it's in the hands of Hardaway. He drives and puts it up, and there's Larry Stewart with a foul.
And right now, that's how Tim Hardaway's going to have to score. He's going to have to get guys down, get it in transition, and be aggressive. This is the best way to drive the basket when the defense is not set, especially against the Sonics, who do such a great job switching.
Now, we talked about his struggles Wednesday against Orlando, 4 of 16 from the field. In a win over Denver, he was 5 of 20. And in the loss to Portland, in which Mourning went out, he was 4 of 17. So
the good thing is he keeps shooting,
yeah.
and he has to. You know, I talked to him. He said, it's not a slump. I've played bad for 3 games. A slump.
4:38 to go in the opening quarter. Mentioned Seattle gets to go back home. George Karl told us mid-February they had 2 long road trips. Off the glass and no good, and McElvain with a rebound. And this is the second of those road trips that ends tonight. He likes the schedule after this.
Yeah, he says if they're close when they come out of these road trips, watch out. They have a great shot at winning the West.
Chasing Utah right now. Camp Beauty.
He's key for this team. George Karl told us that this morning. We want to get Sean Kemp off early, and right now that's what they're doing. But he's doing it himself. He's going to the basket.
Gary Payton went for the steal, and the glove picks up the foul. Here's Kemp's last move.
Yeah, take a look at Sean Kemp here. This is one of those up and under moves. He's moving. The one advantage he has over everybody who's going to guard him is he's quicker, he's more athletic. He can get to the basket. He just has to do it.
I want to hold him straight up with Jim McElvain that's there. If he gets in a threatening position, then double team. He got him both. He still scores.
9-6 Lakers. Kersey guarded by Stewart. Here's Campbell. He's had back-to-back games of over 25 points. First time in his career he's done that.
He really likes getting the ball and know he's going to get a steady diet of basketball.
And a buzzer beater from Nick Van Exel for 3, and the lead has been doubled to 6 points. Perkins wants it. Now he'll set the pit. And the switch, Corey Blunt. Campbell comes over to get Perkins. Hersey Hawkins, a little runner up and in. At the other end, Campbell. Let's see if Seattle wants to run. Yes. From behind, Van Exel with a needless foul.
Yeah, that was a semi-intentional foul right there.
People such as Michael Jordan, who have started out in cold fashion and finished up with 30 or more.
Well, of course, you know he's going to get it because he's shooting such a high percentage. They'll get him in the flow.
Grant Hill misses, and the rebound by Mason.
This is Mason's major plus. He can handle the ball down the middle of the floor. Remember, now he's a power forward. He's averaging close to 6 assists a game.
Mason going in, and it spins off, and the rebound by Otis Thorpe. The Hornets, by the way, were 5-2 in Mason's absence, and there is a no-look pass to Otis Thorpe. Try to make the extra pass. Yep. Thorpe should have put it up, and he tried to get it to Ratliff. Instead, the Hornets come back, and Ricky Pierce nails it. And Pierce now with 4 points in the game, and the Hornets are up by 4.
Dick, the pressure on Detroit's transition defense is incredible this evening. When you have Ricky Pierce coming and then also Glenn Rice filling the outside lanes, you're in a lot of trouble.
That's why the Hornets are going to be a tough matchup if they do.
You know, Bill, they all know their roles on this team. You know, they play 10 guys, they rotate them, they all get healthy minutes, and he plays combinations. And if you notice, last night their spirit was terrific, pulling off that big upset.
Judd Bushler misses the jumper on the what would have been an assist from Kukoc. Dakuri with the pull-up jumper. He's got a sweep. 38 years old, 20 years in the league.
You like their pace. They know that they have to get easy baskets. And when you have inferior talent, that's always the key. You've got to stay in the game with easy baskets, and when you get open threes, knock them down.
But you can't measure the heart of this Parisian team, Hubie, which was last night was huge. I mean, against the Spanish team that was so much bigger and stronger. So much great tradition there for the Barcelona team. And the French team just ran them off the court last night.
Well, you loved it. You know, we saw that with both teams.
He hooked him.
You had it before Jones. I like it. I think maybe you can do both jobs this year.
Give me a big head here.
Now just watch this pass. Now watch as Longley fakes the pass. You see the hook right there? Nice. Good camera work and an excellent call by the trail official.
Hervis Ellison, the oldest player on the Boston Celtics, has come into the ball game. Ellison, a 9-year veteran from Louisville, has come in to help the Celtics in the rebounding department. They have plenty of time on the shot clock, and a foul called. Antoine Walker was fouled by Jason Caffey, and Caffey committing the foul. So Caffey, Longley, and Jordan each with personal fouls, and the Celtics will inbound.
In the early going, Boston has showed no traps. They're matching up full court, playing man-to-man.
And another air ball, this by Dana Barros, to some of the better shooters on the Celtics. Way off the mark in the early going. Under 7.
Out of shape, overweight. This year he lost some pounds, even more than Travis Knight pounds, and he played well, so he earned playing time. And he's going to try to do something about it.
Did you see that? Ori, who's up about 20 pounds from working in the weights, with a block shot to start this game. Ori led the team in block shots in the preseason. That's a turnover. This is opening moments from the Great Western Forum in Los Angeles. Del Harris, who said he was thinking about wearing a priest collar as a Halloween joke tonight, decided it wasn't politically correct.
No, he said if we lost the game, then everyone would say Dale's not serious.
Dell's going to play the role of a priest in a sitcom being filmed out here. That's how he's going to do that. Into Ostertag. Missed the layup. Here is Nick Van Exel, sore knee. He's got that wrapped on the left side. Van Exel misses the jumper. Ostertag with a rebound.
And that's what Dale Harris wants Van Exel to get away from. Now, with Shaq not on the court, Van Exel feels he does have to score more, and that might be, you know, Shaq has talked about it over the summer. He really worked on his game, his jump shooting to give him better touch. So far, he's had touch shots to go in.
That one might be overruled. It is. Yep. Tommy Nunez made the call in favor of the Lakers. Scott Foster came over and said, I had a better view of it. It was touched last by O'Neal.
Take a look here. Shaq just he put it on the rim and lets the ball fall in. That is good touch from Shaq.
Charlie Ward, who's starting now in place of Chris Childs, though he doesn't play as many minutes as Childs. And Ewing with a long, soft jumper.
And that's what he really has to do. He really has a tough time with Shaq because Shaq is much bigger and quicker than Ewing. So Ewing taking him away from the bucket using his jump shot is a good move.
12-8 Laker lead. Van Exel feeds Jones. Quick shot off the mark into the hands of Ewing. Here comes Ward. Fox slip. Oakley takes the jumper.
And see, he wanted that one.
Marbury picks up Avery Johnson. Left side they come to Sean Elliott. Garnett's matched up against him. Here's Duncan. And Cherokee Parks. The double comes from Chris Carr. Ball rotation over to Monty Williams, and the shot is not there.
And that's the shot they'll give him. They're going to make Avery Johnson and Monty Williams take and make jump shots. Avery's probably capable, though. He's surprising with his jumper.
Marbury goes left side. 8:09 to go in the opening quarter. Marbury dishes it to Parks. 2 more.
He's got to look to the plate every single time that he's wanted to. And if he does, San Antonio's going to have a tough night.
Played less than 4 minutes and 4 assists already. Avery Johnson a little too strong. Robinson slaps it away from Gugliotta. Now Sean Elliott, who has played a little better after a rough start in the last 3 games. Robinson, 1 pump, then the jumper.
Where it's snowing in October, they don't want to be there, and that's exactly the kind of game we're getting here right now.
Akeem Olajuwon has it stripped by his former teammate Robert Horry. Van Exel on the run, behind the back, dumping into Horry, out to Rick Fox, inside to the Diesel, splits the double team. But first, the whistle.
In talking to Jeff Van Gundy from the New York Knicks on Wednesday night in Toronto and today to Rudy T, everyone is telling you that Shaq Man is the man in the league this season. That's why we brought out the point that he is in the top 6 in 4 different categories. If you do not get to him quick this season on the double team, he's in your face.
Robert Horry was posted very deep. An easy lay-in missed by Horry after he got the pass from Van Exel. Maloney misses the 3. Eddie Jones and Van Exel, only Maloney back.
Great.
By Clyde.
There's a whistle. And Ike Austin was setting a screen on the wing for Leonard to shoot.
Here's a great show. Look at this. Miami getting back on D. They're back, yet the Lakers still get in there. Not only do you have to get back, you have to get down on your defensive stand because they still attack anyway. They're great athletes.
Weldon Campbell to miss. There's a foul on Robert Horry, who was going for the loose ball.
Well, so far we're having a foul festival. And we don't like that when you have these 2 teams out on the court.
Because it takes guys like Nick Van Exel out, and the best way these teams thrive is with a lot of motion as Corey Blount comes off the bench.
If you're Pat Riley, you're happy. You have Horry sitting on the bench already, and you have Van Exel sitting on the bench, and that's a good thing.
There you go, look. Hardaway draws the double. Brown is up high. Leonard on the wing. Again, they go inside to Isaac Austin. Into Hardaway. Working around Blount and then takes it back outside. Shot clock at 7. Hardaway can't convert.
3:29 to play here in the first. Knicks lead at 24-14. You called it before the game saying Buck Williams and Chris Mills were great guys to step in for the injured Larry Johnson and suspended for 1 game by the league, Charles Oakley. It's all about roles, George, and these 2 guys know their roles. Patrick off a screen and roll goes down with Theo in the lane. And Ewing will get the offensive foul. The Rattler took the charge. Well, see, stand in there, big guy.
Yeah, and he anticipated. That's what they need. The help defense. Everybody's thinking, get a look from the sky cam. On the pick and roll, Theo came over, got his body, takes the punishment. Nice job.
Seeley against Houston. Brian Williams backs in on Ewing. Here's the turn and hook. Off it comes to Houston. Allen. Perfect feed to Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing draws the foul.
See, that can't happen.
Is Derek Harper again. Harper off to a quick start, and he has 5 of the first 9 Orlando points.
The Knicks have been totally inconsistent from the perimeter, and the one guy who was steady through all of the years, Oakley, is only shooting 41%. And that's a dagger because he was automatic, 48 to 50 every year.
Ward with a great move, slicing through the defense, left the ball down, and that was a picture move by Charlie Ward. And he has 5 of the Knicks 7 as Orlando leads by 2, and Mark Price comes right back with a layup.
You can never fall asleep with Mark Price. He has the green light to push, to take a 3 in transition at any time.
Oakley from the corner. Charles Oakley misses, but the Knicks want him to shoot that open jump shot when it is there because they're going to need that kind of offense. Meanwhile, the Magic starting off hot, 5 of 6 from the field as Harper.
Anytime he penetrates, and then he will set up other people along with Michael Jordan. And naturally, we all know a guy by the name of Scottie Pippen who does all of this and makes the game easier for everyone out on the court.
And the word is it's about a week and a half at the most before Scottie Pippen gets back. He has been working out, a little soreness in his foot, but the rehab has paid off. Here's Allen Houston inside, and he's fouled by Michael Jordan as the Knicks go aggressive in their first possession.
Yeah, that was a very good staggered screen to the right, and they brought Allen Houston in. Now, this is what we have to see from Houston, Mills, and Starks. Taking the ball off the dribble, slashing to the basket. Now, top to the top of your screen. See, he just came off a staggered screen, and that's good. Now, you don't like to see him fade. You want to see him attack the rim, Dick.
Allen Houston with a big 3-point basket with 8.5 seconds left in regulation to send the game into overtime Wednesday night against the Nets. Eventually won by the Knicks, who were trailing by 10 going into the fourth quarter.
Brown guards him.
Got it.
That's terrific defense by P.J. Brown, yet Carr still makes the shot.
1 point Utah lead. 6:37 to go first quarter. Pick and roll with Mourning. Leonard for 3. Got it.
That's a nice touch.
You know, when I hit the rim, it didn't go in. That hits the rim, bounces up, and goes in. That's a soft touch. That's what shooters have to have.
Second three-point play now for the Miami Heat. Malone over Brown. Kept alive, but it's Miami's ball. Hardaway. Blindside pass to P.J. Brown. Reverse layup, no good.
Looking for contact. P.J. Brown was looking for contact. Got none, missed the shot.
Under 6, Malone. Fought off. Mourning gets the pass and puts it in.
I don't know how he kept his balance. Boy, pretty good.
You must say, first attention is the center position, Shaq, and then the three-point shooting. You cannot leave the people open.
And the Timberwolves have had problems with the teams with the good inside game and the three-point threat as Shaquille O'Neal takes Stanley Roberts, former LSU players, as Craig Sager pointed out early.
Now you can see that was a very clever move by Shaq coming up on the other side.
Stanley Roberts, a little too hard off the glass, and Derek Fisher and Eddie Jones missing. And there is Garnett. Kevin Garnett coming in as the 12th leading rebounder in the league, over 9 a game. But they want to see him not be a supporter, but they want to see him be a leader out there. Throws up the air ball, and it's saved by, it'll be Laker ball off last touch by the Timberwolves.
You can see in the early going that the Lakers are much quicker than the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves
coach, and he's happy to be starting. Obviously not happy that Longley's hurt, but it gives him an opportunity.
Mourning with Rodman on him, a huge size advantage for Mourning.
It really is, but the Bulls help defensively, so I don't think it's that big of a difference.
Brown lost it. Turnover for Miami. Here comes Pippen to Michael Jordan.
You could see that play developing the whole time, and that's the difference with Scottie Pippen without Scottie Pippen.
Hardaway and Harper, they give it to Leonard. Now back to Brown, who's picked up by Kukoc. Marley, the former Cleveland Cavalier, Phoenix Sun, and now he out to Leonard for 3, who is taking the place of the injured Jamal Mashburn. Jordan to Pippen. Hardaway knocked it away.
I mean, right away, when you get rebounds and guys run, this is Scottie Pippen leading the break. He's really their point guard.
Here's Stockton. On the second corner, Stockton dishes it left side to Adam Keefe. Skip pass, Foster with a jumper from 17. No. And Hot Rod Williams comes down with it. Phoenix a little inconsistent, Danny Ainge says, particularly here in the month of March.
And especially on the offensive end, he said, everyone thinks we have great shooters. He said, what we have is streaky shooters. We don't have one pure shooter. Maybe Dennis Scott is the only one on the team.
Kidd at the shot clock. 5 straight misses for Phoenix now. And it has been an error-free game thus far.
Well, this is more of a finesse game that you're going to watch tonight. Utah will get physical. Phoenix plays defense with energy. I think the biggest difference in Phoenix this year and last year is they do play defense.
Malone short with the shot. Now Jason Kidd will
anyone else.
Right. It's just a matter of whether Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf opt to do that or make the offer.
Well, you can see the pick right here, and every time Grant Hill is going to attack the basket, and he does that well. That's one of the reasons he got frustrated in the Atlanta game, Bert. He said they were not calling the fouls when I was driving. No one drives to the basket more than Grant Hill in this league.
Well, coming next, potentially a terrific matchup from Key Arena. The Utah Jazz go into the Sonics. Utah has a half-game edge over Seattle in the battle for home court advantage out west.
Well, I can tell you who Chicago's cheering for.
Right?
The Sonics. You know it. Because the Sonics, they split the season series with, and the Jazz beat them 2-0. So, obviously, they want the Sonics to win.
Right, if the two teams...
A little guy who has made it big, a very intelligent player out of Stanford, and the key to what has been an up-tempo style change for Mike Fratello.
Well, he handles the ball well on the break. He makes excellent decisions, and he has the ability to break the defense down when the shot clock is inside of 5 seconds.
And there's some pressure put on by the Cavaliers.
Well, we should see this on and off during the night. Mike is going to try to melt the clock, meaning Mike Fratello, get the clock down and allow the Lakers to struggle, hopefully.
I mean, he doesn't want them to score their 105 points a game, which lead the NBA.
See, they'll live with the perimeter game. They're going to try to stop the inside game.
Derek Fisher with a drive. Shaquille O'Neal volleyballs it out into the hands of Sura. 3-on-2 right now, and Henderson wide open in the corner. Person, I should say, misses the shot. Wesley Person has taken more threes than anyone in the NBA, and he's made more threes.
Well, he's made 170, and that's the reason why they did that.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. A quarter dominated by the Charlotte Hornets. They put 31 points on the board while holding the Hawks to just 16. The NBA on ESPN is coming right back at you with the start of the second. We welcome you back to the NBA on ESPN. Mark Brown along with Tate George. We have one quarter in the books so far, and here's a look at what Charlotte's been doing.
And this is an excellent play diagram to show you how they run their play. This is supposed to be set up for a double screen for Rice, but once he sees that they're pushing it down to the baseline, Mason slides, the help is there, and then Rice steps out of your camera because once he's open and the feet are set, that's all money there, baby. You cannot get to him, so...
Rebound, Kobe Bryant.
Scotty's got to work hard at both ends of the floor because Kobe is a highlight film ready to happen, and you got to get with him because he's going to handle the ball quite a bit.
9 on the shot clock for the Lakers. 7. Dickerson looked the other way. Jones beat him on the dribble and had to foul him.
Well, they got caught cheating that time. The defender was sending the dribbler to the baseline. Now, that's fine, but you must have protection on a rotation. Now, you can see right there, the rotation did not happen. You see, they're late. You do not even get a shirt, a dark shirt, in the lane. So the man who was playing the player on the offensive box on the opposite side must rotate and help out in that situation.
Eddie Jones, all off-season during the lockout, rumored to be traded. Lakers didn't really keep it much of a secret. What's his attitude going to be, you think?
Well, you know,
One thought Marcus Camby would be that power forward. Hasn't fit in yet. Needs more time. Kurt Thomas is the guy right now.
Tough matchup now. Houston and Outlaw. Nice feet inside the Thomas.
Well, looks a lot like Oakley right there. Stepped out, take the jump shot. Oakley could do that.
The former player for Dallas, served as an assistant coach last year for Don Nelson, played just 5 games, began his career with Miami, drafted by Riley in the Heat. Grant. Austin inside, and buckle up when a guy that big moves that high. It's time to get out of the way.
And right now, you watch the match, they're getting every shot they want. Not making them all, but they're getting some easy shots.
So Austin has 4. We're in the midst of our 5th tie, now at 13. Here's Thomas. He's 2 of 2 since coming off the Jeff Van Gundy bench.
You had a smaller guy on him, took him right down to the post. Nice little jump hook.
He's a strong guy. 230 pounds. Can he stay healthy? That's the question with Thomas.
Tony Battie. This is the medium jumper. And of course, Deshaun Leonard with a stress fracture of the shin may or may not undergo surgery. And if he doesn't undergo surgery, Pat Riley told us today he'll be gone for the entire season.
Now that would be a difficult loss. He calls him a beautiful, pure shooter. He's explosive. He can put big numbers up there, and he's a big-time three-point shooter for you.
Celtics are shooting under 20%, believe it or not. With 2:14 to go in the first quarter, only 9 points. Battie can't convert. The Clark battling inside, and Weatherspoon gets the rebound. A very low-scoring game as the Boston Celtics decide not to up-tempo. Yubi mentioned their lack of conditioning. They don't have Mercer and McCarty and people like that, so they're playing the Heat game and losing at it right now. And Marley going up, and he's fouled.
You look at the game right now, Dick, and you say, well, Boston's shooting less than 20%. Boston is an excellent offensive rebounding team. You know what? Gary can take him even if he posts.
Mobley with a stop and pop move inside the lane. So Coutinho, Mobley, and Dickerson, both rookie guards, showing some flash. Loose ball picked up by Baker, and then Baker cleans up. It's 28-23.
Oh, Pippen with a great steal. No, nice play.
And Ellis goes up and doesn't make the layuff. Gary Payton with his second nifty steal of this first quarter. Under a minute to go. In fact, under 40 seconds remaining in the first stanza. It's been all Houston, however. They jumped out to a 6-0 lead. A little one-man show by Coutinho, Mobley, and a kick ball, and the Rockets will get a new 24 seconds.
Yeah, Rudy Tomjanovich was all over the referee on that case right there. Now, Nick, we're still in the first quarter. Gary Payton has 2 backcourt steals already in traffic.
Brent Price has come into the game, replacing Coutinho, Mobley. One of the horde of game of the year against these Heat in their one previous meeting, with 24 points and 17 rebounds, puts the Knicks in front once more. Morning blocked off the baseline by Ewing. Nowhere to go for Zoe. Hardaway reposts in there, and with 4 on the shot clock, Morning hits, but that's a point of contention, as you brought out with Pat Riley, the shot selection for Alonzo Mourning.
Oh, nice lob.
Ewing connects, and that was Charlie Ward after they had fronted Ewing, and the Knicks lead by 2.
Well, they did what you're supposed to do. Anytime that you front a low post player and you have an offensive player on the other side of the box, take him up high, and that way the lob pass, the defender cannot rotate.
Hardaway looking to post up against Charlie Ward. Thomas not quite helping out, an illegal defense called against Kurt Thomas and the Knicks, and I think this one will stick. This is the first. Dick, the breadth and width of Craig Sager's coverage of his stories have reached new heights. Thank you very much, as we look at Jerry Sloan, who's not thinking of the impending divorce right now, as the Lakers control the tap to start the game. Dan Crawford, Mike Callahan, Bill Kennedy are our officials, as the Lakers have the first possession.
Now the Lakers are keeping Rodman high, and that will force Malone to stay up above the foul line.
Teams are 1-1. The Lakers lost to the Jazz here, but beat Utah at the Delta Center, and that's the only loss that the Utah Jazz have suffered at home this year.
We should watch the Utah defense tonight. They're going to play Ostertag on Shaq, one-on-one, try to get away without double teaming.
The Jazz with the ball, and it's Brian Russell who's had the hot hand as of late. Rodman is on Malone. The big matchup we'll watch with 4 seconds on the shot clock. The pass knocked away by the Lakers, and the Jazz have 5 seconds to attempt a shot.
Now, they did an excellent
2-on-1. The pump fake. What a play by Harper. What a fake.
Now, that was a beautiful fake. Main thing right there, Kevin, is once Jackson went down inside, if he doesn't hit the shot, he's still got to get back.
Outside to Sam Mitchell. Garnett brings Rodman out. O'Neal by himself in the lane. You can see as Garrett shifts over to the baseline. Rebound is caught by Mitchell. Another offensive rebound for Minnesota.
Well, that's what keeps you around. The big thing right now is Jackson is getting a lot of opportunities. He's got to relax.
Little isolation now. Garnett on Rodman. Will throw you in every way he can. Another rebound by Shaq. Look at him count. 4 rebounds for the big fella, who takes it to the other end and flips it out to Rice. Under 8 to play here in the first quarter. Double teaming again on that left block. Out to Rice for 3. Off the rim and out of bounds and off Los Angeles. More of a offensive presence on this team. Mobley with Jackson on him. Barkley a screen. Crowding is Mobley inside. Garrett got a hand on him, and a foul called inside on Dean Garrett, who began with the Wolves, went to Denver, now is back in Minnesota.
That's exactly why Coutinho Mobley is in the starting lineup, because he can not only shoot the three-pointer, he's streaky there, but he can take it to the basket, and they really like this young player.
Mobley is a rookie out of Rhode Island. Rudy Tomjanovich said early on, he is the most talked about second-round pick we have ever had.
Well, that's true, and we're talking about him right now.
Exactly.
And it's because of he can shoot the dribble, he can shoot it, he can jump, he plays great defense. Scottie Pippen said he's the second best defensive player on the team after him already.
The Atlantic 10 Player of the Year twice. Playing in Rhode Island. Here comes Jackson. Rockets on top by 2. Seeley gives down low to Garnett. Working on Pippen. That'll be
when they play the Utah Jazz in defense, as you pointed out at the top. Very important problem for the Lakers. They gave up 63 points in the second half Sunday against Seattle when they lost 113 to 109 at home. Shaq gets the easy play inside to bring the Lakers to within 5.
Now, that was a beautiful screen and roll right out of there by Shaq. He did a terrific job, and give Brian a lot of credit because he looked.
Rodman is guarding Cato, and Shaquille O'Neal guarding Brian Grant, and Jackson misses outside, and the loose ball. Cato had the rebound, and they're going to call the foul on Shaquille O'Neal, his first.
Well, you have to pay attention to Cato. You're talking 6'9", long arms, great wingspan. He's a rebounder and shot blocker first, so keep him off the offensive glass.
He had a season's high 11 rebounds Sunday against the Clippers, and 94 block shots last year. In fact, only Sam Bowie and Michael Thompson had more block shots as rookies for this great franchise. You get hot. They're one of the best shooting teams in the NBA, and lately they've regained their shooting eye. Malone trying to go up and under, misses, and the crowd yelling for a foul as Malone finally gets up for under the hoop. Here's Avery Johnson inside, feeding Ellie with the lay-in, and San Antonio again leads by 6.
See, you like this tempo for San Antonio, because when you play against Utah, you cannot let them dictate. You got to keep pushing for a full 48 minutes.
And this is a big game, of course, for Utah, trying to get closer to winning the division, as Brian Russell uses his body and gets his first field goal of the game. But for San Antonio, they can inflict the second home court defeat on the Jazz. That would go far for their incentive down the stretch.
Well, see, the people in this building are very vocal, and anytime you're even close to a player, they want to foul.
That may be part of that home court advantage. Avery Johnson on the lay-in. 16-10 Spurs. Malone.
Well, Mark, one of the things that we said early is that what makes this team so tough is that big men are very mobile. You don't, other than Sabonis, all of their big guys really get out on the floor and defend. They jump, they run the floor of offense. They do a little bit of everything.
Now Foster sits down. Ostertag is back up front with Malone and Keefe, Anderson, and Stockton in the backcourt. Discussion regarding the lineup as Keefe is about to throw it in. The Utah Jazz 32-10, a half game over Portland, just 2 over the red-hot San Antonio Spurs. Malone tried the backdoor pass. Keefe, despite the broken nose, getting right in the middle of all the action, and they'll jump it up.
Well, he hasn't had anything to lose. He's been hit.
Jumper and the rebound by Dale Davis. We're seeing 2 potential sixth-man award winners. Of course, Darrell Armstrong, who is starting tonight, and later on we'll see Jalen Rose come off the bench, and he'll play a lot of minutes for the Pacers.
Oh, they'll definitely be in the top 3 in the vote getting.
Jackson way out, trying to back his way, and they're going to call Darrell Armstrong with the foul, and Jackson will do that to you.
Well, you see, first of all, you cannot put your hand in the guy's back. You say, well, he had his forearm in there. You can put the forearm in there, but you cannot push off with the forearm. See, they'll allow you to lay it there. And now as we came on with the TNT pump, you can see right there he pushed off.
Mullen misses the three-point attempt, and here's Reggie Miller for 3. And the Indiana Pacers settling for perimeter shooting in the early going. Armstrong to Horace Grant, and that's been Grant, and he is shooting only 41%, but in the last couple of games, seemingly finding the range again.
Yeah, he likes that spot now. Usually,
see right here, that's fine if you're going to gamble. But if you do not, and you're playing a good post player will step and meet the pass, and then you are at a major disadvantage.
Anderson says, I've got a mouse in the house. He posted on Peeler. Got an excellent shot. Thought he might have been fouled. Minnesota comes the other way. Nice pass in the lane. Peeler will feed off, and there's Joe Smith around the window to lay it in.
Beautiful pass in traffic by Peeler. You got to remember now, Minnesota, one of the premier teams in the league for fewest turnovers, and also right up there first or second in assists.
Nice backdoor lob. There's Corliss Williamson with a left-hand reverse. And the Kings with a 3-point lead, 24-21.
Garnett turns middle, floats one over Corliss. Mismatch there.
When you're watching this game, remember, this is the first game for both of these teams. Forget about the exhibition season. They had to travel all the way here to
Finals against Houston and actually stopped driving to the basket, did not want to go to the line. But I'll never forget how well he handled such a difficult situation. In fact, the morning after those misses, as several hundred reporters entered the Magic's practice facility, Anderson seated in the bleachers alone as you see Russell knock down the three. Apparently had the foot on the line at the two. There was Rick Anderson waiting patiently and answered every question again and again.
This is a quality person. He's a veteran leader. He's been in a lot of big games. He understands what this game is about. He understands what this team needs. I think he's very happy to be here, and he understands what an integral part he can be to them getting to the next step or level.
Hornacek trying to save it. Picked up by Devons. Here comes Williams. That by Isley, who just came on. Anderson played by Hornacek. This is Williamson with the room. And Malone pulls it down. Howard Isley.
That defensive commitment, you get the ball back or get it up early, and because you have the angle, he has a clear angle to the bin.
Sacramento in front by a score of 20-18. The Kings 30-20 on the year, and a poor pass that time by Vin Baker inside. The Kings get it back. Corliss Williamson finding the open man. Anderson. Pollard fighting for the loose ball, out of bounds, and last touched by the Kings.
Very impressive tonight. Sacramento on their defensive board. They are holding Seattle to one offensive attempt, and we told you that's an area where you can really hurt them. Now you can see Rick Adelman feels he is getting no calls in his building, and he's got the crowd behind him.
3:20 remaining in the first. Payton driving in and missed the layup. He actually had the chance, and now the Kings with a 2-point lead, pushing it.
Greg, I'll tell you, in about 10-15 seconds, we may have to have an oxygen break here where the league takes a timeout. The way these two teams have gone up and down the floor, there's a lot of guys pumping hard right now in the first 6-7 minutes of this game.
Stojakovic is coming to the game to play at big guard. Chris Webber also leaves in favor of Scott Pollard, the rugged defender and rebounder along the front line. John Barry is not going to play tonight. As Horace Grant with the miss. Rebound to Gary Payton. Vin Baker blocked, and Westphal thought it was pinned to the board by Pollard, but no goaltend.
Well, the first block negates the fact that Pollard took it to the glass.
Stojakovic. Devos, the two Serbians, get squelched at the rim. Pollard all over the place, and he takes it away.
We have 2 fouls right now on Lewis. Lewis will probably have to come out of the game here.
Been effective so far, all but 4 points scored by the front 3. And here's Jones against Bryant, and now Mason against Grant. Shot clock at 9. Anthony Mason, who comes from Charlotte in the trade with a great push. Move inside, but it won't go. Harper the rebound.
You know, people talk about Shaq's dislodging of the post position right there, but he just manhandled Horace Grant, just threw him out of the way.
Lakers have hit their last 4. Under 4 to play in the first quarter with the foul called outside, and they charge that on Bowen. It's the first on him.
You know, every year, Coach, they come in and they talk about the dislodging rule right here, where the offensive player just bulls his way in there. If that's not a foul, there is no offensive foul.
Well, if you have it, you should flaunt it. You know, you look at guys like Mason and Shaq, they have it. Mason, interestingly enough, uses his off of the dribble. He backs in and posts up with Shaq usually receives a pass from a perimeter person.
Shot clock at 4. Fox studies and fires over Jones.
And right here, we'll take a look at always an exciting moment, tonight's stat track.
Oh, Pacers 4-0 in their last 4 games, and keys are they have out-rebounded their opponents by over 8 each game, and holding their opposition was 37% shooting. So we'll see tonight against a very big Portland team. And, by the way, the 3rd best shooting team in the NBA ball. And if they can hold to a low field goal percentage.
You know, that's the first stat track that has made any sense. Would you have help with that?
I basically have that responsibility.
The staff came up with it. It was not yours. That's the first time we've seen a stat track of significance. Our producer Jay Hoover and director Gary Lehman responsible.
Obviously not even asking you to come up with numbers anymore.
That is not true. I wish they could be out here speaking for themselves sometimes.
Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the first play.
Rebounds last night, although he did not score in the victory at Cleveland. Madsen setting a screen right now. Kobe Bryant left open for the moment, and Kevin Garnett getting the rebound. He already has 4.
You know, the Lakers are going small right now. They're going to play Madsen. He's giving away at least 4 to 5 inches to Nesterovic right now, and you can take advantage of that down inside.
Timberwolves lead by 3. 5 minutes remaining. The entry pass to Garnett and Peeler for 3, and Bryant fighting the big guy for the rebound. Nesterovic comes down with it. Kobe Bryant so far has 7 points in the game, and he is fouled by Nesterovic, and that will be his 2nd personal foul. Rasho Nesterovic last game played 24 minutes, and that was his longest stint since mid-December.
Right now they're going to come with Garrett to replace Nesterovic. See, you hate to see a big guy try to deflect a ball from
defense coming off the bench. You don't get a lot of time. Want to remind you, come tomorrow on TNT, coverage will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern as the Miami Heat go against the Toronto Raptors. Both very much in the thick of things in the Eastern Conference. Iverson goes strong to the basket off the glass and gets it. 15 points, and Iverson putting on a first quarter show.
Now, Kobe Bryant, first team all defense last year. Just the quickness of that first step, Dick, he just blew by him, got the shoulder ahead of him.
The speed, that's the one thing Iverson has that no one can match. Ryder got in good position, but he missed the layup, and now the Sixers coming back, leading by 7, and a careless play made that time by Iverson, and there is Ryder going in, trying to draw the foul, and does against Aaron McKee.
We have some guys who can finish on the break here. When you have Ryder and Bryant running for you for the Lakers, you have 2 guys who are quick and can see him get in a rhythm. You can see it right now. He's laying it short. Even the first one that he shot hit the front of the rim, and he would get a fortunate bounce.
Lakers leading 10-5, playing well in the early going with 10 on the shot clock. Here is Ryder posting up Daniels, and Isaiah Ryder now with his 2nd basket.
Now that's something that we should see a lot of, because Shaq can hang out on the foul line extended, and you can post Isaiah Ryder. He is very difficult down in that post-up area.
So Shaq and Ryder, the 2 who have to step up offensively, have done so early on. Here is Anderson going up, the ball tipped away. Anderson claimed he was fouled. Instead, the ball was last touched by the Lakers with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Right now, here's tonight's stat track, the key statistic that Hubie thinks will shape tonight's game.
Well, we're saying that they need to shoot at least 40% or better in the 3-point attempts, mainly because that will be there, meaning the San Antonio Spurs. At the other end, we're saying that the Lakers...
Suns have a tough schedule. 19 of their last 25 will be against teams with winning records, but they've done well against the winners. They are 6-3 in their last 9, and they have fared well against the tough competition. Here is Robinson over Weber hitting. So Clifford Robinson now with 6 points, and the lead is 12.
Right, you're coaching Phoenix, you're happy. Your main guys are off going, and your open transition game is excellent.
Here is Weber, the fake. Robinson doesn't go for it, gets the pass back from Divac. Knocked out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Kings.
You know, we always kid around about give and go basketball. It still works. And that was a beautiful pass from Weber to Divac. Back to Weber, was wide open for a nice shot.
Here's Marion posting up against Turkoglu this time, and Sean Marion already with 11 points in the game. He had 22 last night and was red hot. He was 10 of 12 last night, and it's Perkins will hit the 3 if you let him, and he does. Veteran Sam Perkins.
Well, Perkins is in the game, we all know, because of the fact that because of his range factor. That was his 109th attempt at 3-point shooting. He'll draw the center out to play him high.
6-3 the score. Pass inside, and a good one from Glenn Rice to Othello Harrington. And the Knicks opening up an 8-3 lead. The Knicks leading 2-1 in the season series, capturing the last 2. Jalen Rose at the point, guarded by Sprewell. Harrington coming out to meet Perkins. Jermaine O'Neal, still not double covered, goes in and gets the basket.
O'Neal beat his man for his first hoop.
Well, he's very quick. We know that the young man is averaging 12 points and right at 12 rebounds also, just like Camby. And the thing that he does well is with his back to the basket, quick feet on spin moves.
Mark Jackson, who started.
Controlling the opening tip to Ron Lue, to Michael Jordan, over Jefferson. Yes!
Why did we have a feeling that this was going to be a big night for Michael Jordan, that these fans are in for a treat tonight? He has been looking forward to playing in front of the Washington fans. He missed the inter-squad scrimmage. He felt very badly about that, but he's here tonight to show something.
One thing for sure, he's not bashful.
He came out firing. And the ball back to Washington.
As we know, at the top of the circle, Jordan's so dangerous because he can go right, left, and if you give him a step, his shooting right now is right where it was when he finished the game 3 years ago.
Well, the one thing you'll see him do a lot of, I think a lot more, is posting. He was trying to post Jefferson just then, but he had to come out to receive the ball.
Jordan this time comes up short. Richard Jefferson, known as a very fine defensive player, but finding his way in this his first NBA season.
Was set, ball jarred free, another Atlanta turnover. They now have 2 as Hamilton works into a thicket of Hawk players at the other end of the floor. Chris Whitney, who was red hot in New York, missing his first 3 tonight.
He rushed that shot a little bit. He was anxious to get a shot off. Hasn't got to touch the ball yet in the half-court offense, and thought he rushed it. He was making every one of those in New York.
There was a knee and a foul and a second foul, and then for Doug Collins starting center, Jahidi White.
You know, Jahidi, you want to be physical. He's got a lot of strength and advantage over Theo, but you can't get stupid fouls. You know, they just don't have the depth. With Kwame Brown on the injured list and Brendan Haywood on the injured list right now, or on the bench anyway in street clothes, they just don't have enough fouls to give at that position. Those are silly fouls.
He can't afford to get in foul trouble if it were well. You know he can if he can. But Jahidi believes he has 1 excuse me and 5 fouls.
Well, John, if anybody knows Jahidi, it's
long to the rim because they do not defend you. And what happens, you get down inside the paint, they foul you and put you on the line.
3-point play by Hardaway, his first points of the game, and a 4-point Suns lead.
All right, now they're out into a 2-3 flat. And last time down, it was like a 1-3-1 set.
And McGrady's pass hits the line again. That's the second time that the Magic's and head bowed is Doc Rivers in his 3rd year as head coach of the team, and team with a lot of talent and so much expected of the Orlando Magic.
Well, there's a lot of pressure on this organization. And no doubt about it. Last year they won 43 games. The year before 41.
And tipped in by Rodney Rogers.
Here's our man.
Good hustle by Rogers, taking his cue from you, and it's 13-7 with under 7 minutes to go.
Scott Skiles did tell us that he needed a 4th guy, didn't he?
Remember, Clifford Robinson
getting a rest. Here's Horry. Lakers hit their previous 3 from downtown. Rice with the opening, but lost the handle.
Glenn Rice saw that opening and was too anxious to pick up the ball and finish it off, lost handle on it, and the resulting turnover.
Lakers now going with Devin George up front along with Samaki Walker and Robert Horry, Lindsey Hunter, and Kobe Bryant in the backcourt. Lakers with a 25-22 lead. We're early in the second. Walker setting the screen for Hunter. Good hustle by Lindsey Hunter. And Francis able to revive the dribble. Hunter all over. Francis keeps going. Beautiful setup for Lewis, but he missed the layup. What a great recovery. Foster again wide open, able to go glass.
You have given him a great amount of confidence, Foster.
3 for 4, 6 points.
Obviously, you heard what you said, and he's living up to your reputation that you've given him.
He has been shooting very well recently. 4 of 8, 11 points the other night. Among the leaders in rebounds. Good hands by Hamilton to break it up. Here's Whitney with Hamilton on the wing. Yes. And the Pacer lead is now 3.
We saw a fast break basket for Washington. Let's try and watch over the course of the evening how many easy baskets Washington can come up with, because this is a concern for their staff. They don't get a lot of easy baskets, whereas other teams seem to get a lot more. Like there's an easy basket right there. Backdoor, and then a bounce pass for a layup.
Beautiful pass thrown by Jalen Rose. Indiana 19, Washington 14. And who Sunday afternoon, good touch by Alvin Williams. That was a bad loss to Boston, 85-69. A lackluster performance by the Raptors that stopped a 4-game win streak. Lenny Wilkins said he burned the video of that game. Said no need to look at it, and then gave the Raptors an off day last Monday. Shot clock is down to 6. Lenny Wilkins said he saw mental fatigue coming on. He wanted his players to get away from it. He said they're all refreshed now.
Sometimes you need a day off. Sometimes you've gone through a tough stretch. You know, Lenny doesn't give you too many practices off, so it builds up sometimes to the point where just getting away, not seeing each other is the best thing that can happen. Come in, take some treatment. If you want to lift a little weights, that's fine, but other than that, let's get away from the court.
Production staff here at Turner has had the same philosophy with Uzar. They've been telling you to take some time off. Cassell is able to hit, going glass.
Pierce to Walker. Nice find inside for Tony Battie, and a rebound by Antonio Davis.
Yeah, you're not going to double team Battie. The only guy, they'll double team Walker and Pierce down on the post.
Here's Vince Carter for 3. That one bobbles out. Carter so far 2 of 4 shooting, including a 3-point shot. Pierce with the 3. That's in and out. A rebound by Montross.
This game at times could look like a summer league action, okay? You know, the first guy over half court shoots because both teams attempt a high number of threes.
A lot of shooting. Here comes Jerome Williams, who played for John Thompson at Georgetown. And Davis trying to work his way across the lane. Another theft for Boston.
Nice strip that time by Antoine Walker. Antoine Walker playing with the flu tonight.
2 for Kenny Anderson, who finds another one. He's got 5, and his 5 leading.
Who has to stay on the court, as we mentioned, got his first ejection of the year Saturday against Chicago. He's already chalked up 17 technical fouls. Always been a problem with him. Smith defended by Bonzi Wells and has the height of the
Anytime that you get a mismatch like that where you have Wells, a guard, on a forward who is 6'10", you run him right into the post, you post them up, and you tell the guy, look, a strong move into the lane.
Minnesota by 1 and 10 on the shot clock. A 3-point miss by Rasheed Wallace, taken down by Chauncey Billups. Starting in place of Terrell Brandon. Billups had started earlier in the year, 20 games to be exact. And there is the smooth jumper by Kevin Garnett. He has 4 points.
Well, you're looking at 2 really talented people tonight. And Rasheed Wallace, he's right at 7 foot. Kevin Garnett at 6'11" or 7 foot. They both can play facing the basket as well as posting. And a very tough guy down inside.
Wizards have already won 10 more than they achieved last year. And Leitner trying to get it to Hamilton down low. And an errant pass. And here come the Clippers. Here's Olowokandi against Jahidi White and travels. And the ball goes over to the Washington Wizards. The Wizards losing to Boston Monday. In the second half of their back-to-back games, they had 21 turnovers in that game, 21 in the previous game, so we know what's on Doug Collins' mind.
Well, the coaching staff is trying to reach the team and say, look, stop trying to make the fancy pass and the maybe pass. Take your time and only pass the guys when they're wide open. Sounds easy. Players want to make the splash play.
Here is Alexander high off the glass. And halfway through this opening quarter, the Clippers up by 7. They have led all the way. For the Wizards, Jahidi White stayed in for another couple of minutes after he picked up his second foul. So Haywood is in, and Christian Laettner at the scorer's table will come in at the next dead ball. Wizards leading by 3. Weber defending against Jones. Quick turnaround. Divac clears.
Early in this game, Washington has not been able to get to the offensive board. Now, we know that's a strong suit. If you shoot a high percentage, the rebounds are not there.
Stojakovic open, and the rebound taken down by Popeye Jones, who has averaged 8 rebounds this year. So with Jones, Haywood, and Jahidi White, one of the reasons why the Wizards so effective off the glass, particularly the offensive board. 10 on the shot clock. Michael Jordan has scored 2 points, and now he's got 4. And the Wizards are up by 5.
Right now, anytime that there's a ball cross, Sacramento is switching.
Davis and Carter finding Clark, who works on Nowitzki down low. And Nowitzki with the rebound. A much better rebounder now, Danny.
Well, Nowitzki's really turned himself into a rebounder. He was a guy that wanted no part of the paint or the rebounding when he first came into the league.
The Dallas Mavericks have made their last 4 consecutive shots.
Well, the unbelievable thing about it, he got to rebound, brought the ball to the length of the court, and then takes a 3. Then you look up and see this guy's 7 feet tall.
I love the energy of the Dallas team right now defensively. They're really out there playing, and they're very active.
And that's very smart, don't you think, Danny? Because they know that this team has lost 12 in a row, so they want to discourage them quickly.
What a play by Clark.
Oh, he's the slippery eel down there, right? He can go by anybody with that long first step. You got to make him be a jump shooter. Dirk fell for the pump fake.
Nash with the drive and snaps it back to Finley with a fake on Clark. And a rebound by Alvin Williams.
Or if there's a timeout. In this last one, he would not sit down and received heat treatments, and he received treatments again scheduled to coming up at halftime. So right now, he's in there and he's in pain, but their big concern is what happens if he should stop and back obviously becomes stiff. Marv?
All right, thank you, Craig. And Rasheed Wallace. Oh, Dale Davis got the stat. Rasheed Wallace has been a major part of this Portland Trailblazer resurgence, playing terrific basketball.
And Maurice Cheeks has nothing but great things to say about him. And he said, look, I don't know what took place in the past year. He said, I read, I hear, just like everybody else. But as far as I'm concerned, since he's been here with me, he has done nothing but everything we've asked him to do. And he said, I really have seen him mature as an individual and as a player.
He knows he doesn't want to deal with it.
You're saying he knows of the past?
Oh, he says, I don't know what happened. But
well, he was honest in the fact that he wasn't here coaching him in the past. He's candidates for most improved now as far as a guy who is just a tremendous season compared to basically missing the entire year here.
I think they have 2 candidates. I think they have obviously a Kerry Kittles, and I think Kenyon Martin has to be considered in that same category. And I think it all goes back to Jason Kidd. He makes other guys better, and you see it here, fast breaks and open shots, and it's really a lot to do with Kidd.
Aaron Williams coming on for Todd McCullough. And the outstanding rookie from Arizona, Richard Jefferson, checks in for the first time. Jefferson. This is Williams. Now Martin working on Medvedenko. Kenyon Martin getting position. Rebounded by Samaki Walker. 4:20 remaining in the first. And the Nets have a 10-point lead. Here is Kobe Bryant. And the Nets look to run.
Kevin Garnett over Robert Ory. And a rebound by Kobe Bryant.
Well, with Shaq out, I'd love to see Garnett now go inside a little bit more because he can take advantage of his size and his length, and I don't think that they have guys out there right now that really will be pushing him as much. He takes so much pushing, and I agree with Danny 100%, but I still think he needs somebody to absorb some of the punishment for him physically underneath with it.
Well, and that's the other theory of starting Joe Smith in the lineup. Then Kevin can play the small forward, and then as you go to the bench, he can move over to the power forward, so there's not as much pounding night in and night out. Right now, Robert Ory is not a real physical player, and he should be trying to take advantage of him in the post. But because he started the game out of the 4, it just takes, it's less. But at the same time, you know, we mentioned Mitchell in the starting lineup. They've been able to execute their offense better. They're tied in this game, and they're open shots. If they get hot, they could be up 10 points in this game.
Kevin Garnett will check out. You can see his rebounding tonight, but his shooting is only 1 of 6. They bring in Anthony.
Don Reed has checked into the game. He wears number 52, clogging the middle for Orlando. Lucius Harris missing the jumper. This is Troy Hudson on the run. Here is Williams inside with a short floater jump hook. And Monty loves that play. That if he has a signature shot, that's his.
Absolutely. Knows how to use his body, his frame, how to shield the defender, and knows how to create space.
Johnson into the ball game also for the New Jersey Nets, wearing number 8. Richardson to Williams. Williams punched away by the Clerk. The long miss, and the offensive board goes to Williams after Harris missed the jumper.
Lakers have started 1 of 5 from the field.
I don't know about that call on Tim Duncan right there. It looked like Samaki pushed Duncan into the screen. Got a cheap one on Duncan.
Derek Fisher, Kobe Bryant, Sumaila Sumaki from Mali, Africa. Derek Fisher with the Duncan rebound inside.
And there's one guy I think he just loves to shoot. I think Fisher's going to find some ways to take some of Shaq's shots.
And do you like that?
Well, I like it as long as you stay within the offense. You know, it's so dangerous to get away from it because you try to do it on your own. It's so easy with Shaq in there, and you don't want to get out in bad habits.
San Antonio has started the game 1 of 3 from the floor. Smith wheeling inside. And as he goes into Ori, who reaches in, Robert Ori picks up his first personal foul of the game. And the Laker defense inside the lane.
Well, right here, Steve Smith trying to drive it right there. Robert Ori just can't move his feet on the perimeter. 2 old guys going at it, neither one very quick.
For Washington, once they're able to convert, you're going to see more points go up on the board. Yeah, they struggled to score points last night in their game, but they had many opportunities with their big people. They just couldn't convert them. But you have youth out there, and sometimes don't get the calls the way other players do.
Eric Williams on the foul to put Stackhouse at the line. 86% at the line last year, career high. Well, you can be the general manager of your own NBA team. Log on to NBA.com or America Online, NBA.com, and play virtual GM for a chance to win a trip to the 2003 NBA Finals. I noted both of you guys logging on earlier.
I'm taking the Lakers.
You
can have all the rest of the
nice
teams.
choice.
I got the Lakers.
Not upset with the 0-2 start.
I'll bide my time until the big toe can get back in there.
Kwame Brown, Austin. Here is Pierce with a nice fake. Pargo in the open floor as the Celtics get back. 2 minutes remaining in the first. Here's Brian Shaw, who just checked in.
The thing about Brian Shaw is still capable of making the right decision with the ball, capable of making shots from three-point range. Defensively, you start to struggle a little bit when you get up in age. And I'm not trying to say he's an old man, but got a few years on him.
Brian Shaw, 36 going on 37. Played by Pargo. Baker gets it out. Here's McCarty from way downtown. It's an air ball. Got a piece of the net.
And just then he makes a terrific defensive play. Goes back, helps out, and runs out and challenges the shooter. Forces the air ball.
Minute and a half remaining. First quarter. Celtics 22, Lakers 11. And Brian Shaw does it again. Hit a jumper from the innocent play. Stockton try to get it down low to Trinity.
Because of how Washington is trying to play the defense against pick and roll, the players on the off side of the floor must find openings that they can cut to, movement without the ball, and John Stockton will find it.
And the new rules have really affected Utah's spacing, where they can play a lot of 2- and 3-man games. Now your spacing is leading, or lack of spacing is leading to more turnovers. Their turnovers have gone way up in the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, already we would have seen Stockton with a layup on a UCLA cut. We would have seen Karl Malone with a layup on a backdoor cut, but both times the next one for the defender was there.
Hughes with a good fake on Stockton. Wizards with a 7-2 lead. And a blocking foul is called. It is on Joaquin Hawkins, rookie from Long Beach State, a well-traveled rookie who had just checked in. A 7-0 run here by Houston. All 7 points have been scored by Yao Ming in only 53 seconds of play. As a result, the Rockets are within 3 with a minute 25 remaining in this first quarter. Nash has to kick it out. Finley, yes, that's a 3 for Finley.
Don Nelson made an interesting substitution. he put in Walt Williams as his four-man, took out Nahara, so Ming would have to guard a shooting big man. Rudy T countered by putting Yao on Adrian Griffin. It's a little chess match right now.
Well, that's one of the things that Don Nelson likes to start his game off with Bradley in at center, because Nowitzki is such a tough guard for most four men because of his ability to go outside, play from in deep, or go down and post up. So, again, he brings...
Haywood is hit from behind, took a whack in the back of the head from Phillips. Let's check in with Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, Bob, a very disappointing Christmas for the Wizards' #1 draft pick, Jared Jeffries. A second opinion confirmed today that he will be out for the year with a torn ACL on his right knee. He accidentally stepped on Christian Laettner's foot last Sunday at practice in Dallas. Did a little bunny hop trying to keep his balance, and that's when he tore it. Now, Doug Collins said tonight that he really loved his work ethic. Although he was averaging just 13 minutes with 4 points and 3 rebounds a game, he planned to put him in the rotation in the second half of the year, not only at the 3 and 4 position, but they've been working him out at point forward. Last year, if you recall, he was the Big Ten MVP and led Indiana at the NCAA Finals. Unfortunately, this could set him back and actually make next year his rookie year.
All right, thanks, Craig. Jahidi White still out recovering from knee surgery. Juan Dixon.
Games like this, whereas Jordan, already having been through this, I would suspect would play a very good game here tonight.
A live TNT NBA Thursday Spanish language feed is now available by SAP. Here's Jalen Rose going to the fadeaway. Jalen Rose in the win over Portland the other night, which ended the Blazers' 8-game win streak with 32 points on 10 of 23 from the field. It was the combination of Rose and Chandler leading the Bulls to the victory. They clear it out for Jordan. And that was deflected short by Marshall and tipped home.
The first play was almost a spectacular tip by Larry Hughes. Michael Jordan's shot was blocked, therefore it's a free ball. You go up and tip it in, not worry about a goaltend situation. Larry Hughes almost tipped it in backwards, using the glass over his head without seeing the basket.
Trent Hassel taking it to the rim is fouled, and he heads to the line. All right, here come the Kings again. They've hit 12 of 14 from the field. And let's see, the officials confer. At first, it appeared that a deflection off the nets was going to be called, and now the call has changed. It'll be New Jersey ball. So Sacramento 12 for 14, the 2 missed shots, the 2 layups that were missed by Vlade Divac.
Well, it's interesting. Divac has struggled, but I think he and Christie are really the glue. Christie gives him great energy defensively, and Divac is so unselfish. Neither one care about scoring.
You saw that jump shot just last time down for Williams. He had to take that jump shot because the time before when he turned it over, it was because Vlade had backed so far off and he couldn't make a feed pass. That time again, Vlade's way off him, so he has to shoot the jumper.
But too many of those jumpers make him a jump shooting team, and Sacramento gets the guys they want shooting perimeter jump shots to shoot them.
Jordan, for about a week, was playing through a bout with the flu and ended up going 40 minutes in 3 consecutive games. Says he's all right now, and was extremely upset with the performance against Toronto. That will count. It's a goaltend on Shawn Kemp.
Shawn Kemp trying to show us that he's lost about 40 to 45 pounds. He's got a little lift in those legs. In fact, sometimes Shawn might be working a little bit too hard, as we see the obvious goaltending right there. Kemp does his stationary biking prior to games, after the games, putting double sessions in on his own, and he's dropped, as I mentioned, almost 45 pounds, but it may be taking its toll because he struggled a little bit over the last couple of weeks. You can do too much to wear your body out when you lose all that weight.
Yes, he came into camp overweight, out of shape. Once again, Michael Jordan, he has 10 points, 10 unanswered now for the Wizards.
Just torturing Corey Maggette on the low post right there.
Maggette picks up his first personal foul.
Where's the help?
Bryant now has 5 points in the game. Lakers are 3 of 3 from the free throw line. Clippers the same, 3 of 3 from the stripe.
Well, where's the shot blocking presence and the size of this big Clipper team?
Lakers have made some substitutions with rookie Kareem Rush, Devin George coming in the game, Robert Horry joining Shaq and Kobe. The Clippers have stayed with Odom, Olowokandi, Maggette, Grant along with Miller.
And you don't see the Lakers double team very often. That just shows you the scouting report. The Clippers are not good outside shooters or good passers out of double teams, but because you hardly ever see the Lakers resort to a double team type of defense.
Devin George has picked up that foul. Elton Brand inside. A co-rookie of the year a couple years ago at the Chicago Bulls. And a player who continues to be among the most effective inside players. And the 6 points of Allen Houston leading the New York Knicks. Shaq also has a couple assists. That'll bring a smile to your coach's face.
Another post player who's become a good passer throughout the years, who's gotten better and better, is Karl Malone, although he's a power forward. We can't classify him as a center.
Well, I think a lot of them can pass, but the very best of the passes is another issue, because most people who can score have to be able to pass it out of the post.
Rick Fox just picked up his second foul. Thus, Devin George comes off the bench. George, 4 years out of Augsburg. And while a lot of these guys are going to head down to Atlanta for the All-Star game, Devin George is going back to his hometown of Minneapolis, to tiny Augsburg College. They're going to retire his number 40 in Division III school. Shaq with another rebound.
And an excellent time. That defensive possession right there. The Lakers decided to double team Allen Houston. Kobe had him. They didn't think he could handle him one-on-one. Isaac was not able to convert.
Lakers +2 in rebounding. Robert Ory with his first offering tonight. Dolian grabs the rebound.
Of the future out here. Which of these NBA guys, when their careers are done, as we see Antoine Walker, a little turnout, are going to be the ones that are out there spreading the word about the NBA and what this is supposed to be all about.
All right, Nowitzki off the mark on that three-point attempt. Here's Kidd. And Jason Kidd gives the East a 39-36 lead. Here's Nash for Garnett.
You might normally look at this and say, man, they're just coming down now and firing. But that's how Dallas plays. That's what Nash is used to. Get the ball down quick, get an open shot for your teammate.
Garnett not able to finish it. Antoine Walker putting one off the glass, intended for Carter. You know, in the first quarter, we saw some defense. We saw actually some nice plays. This has now developed into the playground-style all-star game as Paul Pierce is able to hit on a break. Adam Sandler enjoying from court.
First field goal for Steve Francis. Lakers up by 4. Fisher. And that won't count. Hit by Francis.
You can really see the half-court offensive execution of the Los Angeles Lakers. This is the best that I've seen them run their patterns, run their stuff, particularly without Shaq being in there. They've gotten much, much sharper over the last couple weeks, and obviously that's been part of the reason why they went on that little winning surge, along with Shaq becoming, in better shape and Kobe being on the tremendous run that he's been on. But their execution right now offensively is much sharper.
And Slava Medvedenko has just checked in, replacing Samaki Walker. He picked up 2 fouls, so the matchup now is Medvedenko and Yao Ming. Medvedenko goes 6'10", about 250.
On both sides, with Kittles finding Lucius Harris and into the aforementioned Williams. Richard Jefferson back in and missing. Rebound nicely inside by Harrington.
Well, and the thing I like about Harrington, I think just like Artest, he's a very physical player. Rebounding physically, offensively, driving physically, defending, holding. And he's where the action is. I mean, that's the thing about him. He's getting better and better and better.
Right there he was. Harrington has 6.
I'll tell you one thing, just watching Rodney run up and down the court right now, he's not the same player that he was, even last year in Boston. I know the injuries have had to take their toll, and doesn't look like he's in the same kind of shape, and that's going to hurt New Jersey, unless they can get some quality minutes out of Scalabrine.
Indiana's got a foul to give. Here comes Harris. On top, Bender is on Jefferson, losing it inside. Final seconds ticking away. Good if it goes. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter here for the Meadowlands. Indiana has led by as many as 8, and Brad Miller was...
Well, help me out for a second. After listening to Jeff, is Doug a coach or is he an official?
Because he was...
I mean, he's just nice. Oh, it's like the same thing with the officials list.
Lou gets it off after eluding Griffin. What a play by Teron Lou. And the Wizards now lead 27-18.
That's the 4th cheap shot at me already, and we're not even a quarter into the game.
Well, earlier, the Czar used whatever TV savvy he has picked up. He'll make a statement as we head to commercial where you cannot answer. Posey is fouled with 19 seconds remaining in the third.
We've seen Tyronn Lue hit these fadeaways now, picking up perhaps a move from Michael Jordan, but we see the attempt at a charge right there. There's the elevation, shot going up, and another hoop for Mr. Lue.
And when Lue was inserted into the starting lineup for Hugh.
Key on cards. When you got big guys that can run and finish like that, it sure makes it fun to pass to. But, you know, last game, they tried to take advantage of Joe Johnson on the post, the Phoenix Suns did, because he was being defended by Earl Boykins, and they had failures of even doing that against Earl Boykins. So I think Rick Adelman probably saw that tape and said, hey, we can put Mike Bibby on him.
Here come the Suns on a Kings turnover. The Suns have missed their last 4 shots. He takes it inside.
Well, see, in that time, he faked the pass to the outlet and went on in. And I think in order for him to be able to make the plays that he needs to make for the Suns, he's got to make himself a threat offensively so he pulls the defense.
Loose inside, another turnover. The rebounding even at 4 apiece so far. Step to the trailing Amari Stoudemire. And a foul as he tried to go inside. The turnovers are even at 3 apiece to start the game.
Well, Doug Christie, I mean, this guy gets his hands on so many balls right there. The guy is in the top in steals.
They are sharpening their game for the playoffs, leading by 7 with under 2.5 to play. Bibby on Fisher in the corner. Kobe Bryant is only 1 for 7 so far, hasn't gotten started, and Matson not known for his offense. How's that for an understatement? But the Lakers get it back, and Fox missing a 3, and here comes Bibby motoring up. Weber hitting. Chris Weber, who's hitting nearly 23 a game. And again, a 9-point lead.
Matson's got to be some threat offensively, either by setting the screen, making a strong cut to the basket, or penetrating, because he's got to pull the defense to him a little bit.
6 on the shot clock, and they get it down low to O'Neal, and Divac pushing inside, called for his 2nd personal foul. So 2 on Divac.
North.
Here's Bradley from outside, a 15-footer. And Los Angeles +2 in rebounding in this game so far. Kobe Bryant slashing inside and handing to Shaq, who can't dunk it. Bradley is off his horse, and finally Shaq puts it in for 2.
Oh, great play by Kobe. They do not want to let Kobe. He catches the ball, and they don't want to let him go baseline. They want to make him go middle and kick it to the shooters rather than having Shaq's man come over for the shot block.
Shaq's got 11. That is a game high. Here comes Bradley.
The thing I like about Kobe is he seemed to be focusing, Danny, on really making Shaq feel good.
Fisher with the interception, 5 Dallas turnovers, and Kobe Bryant gliding the other way with a 1.5 to play in the first quarter.
Well, see, they're standing around. It almost looks like a practice drill, just trying to get the ball into Shaquille O'Neal and then playing off of that.
Bradley knocked it away with that long reach. 4 Los Angeles turnovers.
By Ratliff helping out. A traveling violation. We were talking a moment ago about Charles Oakley. For more on Charles, let's go to Cheryl.
Thanks a lot, Marv. I spoke to Jeff Van Gundy. He's one of Jeff Van Gundy's best players, and Charles really said what's been frustrating with the 8 games remaining is some of the young guys are still not getting the game plan. He said the ball is no longer in our court. Our team is simply trying to get out of the backyard to the front, and he says we have no one to blame but ourselves for putting ourselves in this predicament.
Well, Charles never one to hold back on opinions. The other day said that the Washington Wizards have actually shortchanged their fans this season, and cited the lack of commitment to winning as the reason that they're chasing the Milwaukee Bucks. Nice play, but Leitner not able to put it down as a goaltend. The basket will count. And then he criticized Kwame Brown. He said, when you're the #1 draft pick overall and not start.
Coming in there to help a little bit on the dribble penetration, pulled it back away. The next closest man was Shaquille to try and get there to help, but could never get there in time.
Sacramento up by 2. Fisher. Christie setting it up. Weber, yes.
Chris Webber with a line drive it. He now has 5 points. And the Kings have been 8 for 14 from the field here in this first quarter. Lakers just 6 out of 15, and 3 were stuffs by O'Neal. Fisher from downtown, way off. Webber keeping it away from Matson, and they both go down. Crowd felt that Webber pulled Matson down.
You know, I would not be surprised to see Phil Jackson make a move pretty soon and get Matson out of there.
Cleveland, they can guard him.
High expectations for these Phoenix Suns. Nice pass inside. It came from on top, and James into Boozer.
That's the best part of his game. Court vision and his ability to pass the ball and his feel for the game. That's where he's at his best. Forget the scoring.
James with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists so far. Here comes Sean Marion. Over to Joe Johnson, the former Celtic, now in his second full season with the Phoenix Suns. Finds himself free. Rebound by the All-Star of a season ago, Rogoskis. Down court for James. Converge on him in a hurry.
Well, they got quickness. They're going to be scrapping for that ball. Here's Ricky Davis stepping into a 3. And I talked to Frank Johnson before the game. I said, what's your biggest concern? He said, transition defense. This team really likes to run, and we have got to get back and match up. Find our man.
Marbury by Davis. Lane. And a rebound again by the Cavaliers.
Jeff Van Gundy telling us that it's not only the shot selection that he'd like to see improve when you're talking about Mobley and Francis, it's the pass selection.
Well, you touched on one thing, Steve, when you said the word dribble. You could probably tell us firsthand, those players were used to pounding the ball on the floor so many times that what happens is everybody else winds up watching them. It took them 10, 12 dribbles to get to the point that they wanted to. One of the things Jeff's trying to cut down is number of dribbles necessary.
Maurice Taylor has checked in for the first time. Taylor missed all 8 preseason games because of a dislocated shoulder. Told he suffered that injury during a walkthrough. Here's Canby. That didn't register right away.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yes. You know, those walkthroughs can be very physical. Meanwhile, Canby just picked up his 3rd.
To the line looking to complete a 3-point play, a 74% free throw shooter last season. Out of Orange, New Jersey, a star at St. Patrick's High School, went directly to the NBA. First-round pick back in 1998.
Great to see him so willing to take a back seat as such a young player, showing a lot of maturity for a guy his age.
Aaron Williams getting excellent position on Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, let's remember that when he came out of high school right into the league, who did he move in with and live with but Antonio Davis, a guy who's really got things in proper perspective. I don't know if you can find a much better example than Antonio Davis to have with him, kind of like David Robinson probably took Tim Duncan under his wing and explained things early on.
Artest, rebounded by Collins. Kidd and Armstrong now in the backcourt. Here's Williams from Kidd. The tip by Williams. Aaron Williams played well. He has 8 points in the starting lineup.
Getting point-blank shots.
Both teams have a foul to give. A half minute to play here in the first quarter from a quiet Rose Garden in downtown Portland. Nice pass by Jackson. And Miller to the left, diving inside.
Talk a little bit about Portland's defense. They've not committed 1 foul. And that's about 5 layups they've given up. Kevin, you got to take a foul and make a guy make a couple free throws. You just can't let people keep penetrating your defense. Portland, 0 fouls here in this first period.
There's McGinnis, no shot clock, just the game clock with which to work, and it's a double team Bonzi Wells, and he couldn't snap it out of there. Turnover number 6. Stojakovic for 3. Good! At the buzzer! A sensational effort by Peja Stojakovic with 10 first quarter points, and the Kings go 4 of 7 above the arc.
Well, this is a team, they're going to try to push the ball, and if they don't get layups, they're going to look for that 3-point line. They're
very strong. Chauncey Billups all the way to the rim, just doesn't finish. But for 18 years old, what a body, what athleticism, just amazing.
And the foul was called on Ilgauskas, a loose ball foul. So Detroit back in possession. Campbell hanging in with the 2 fouls. Nice move. Eldon Campbell over Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Pistons with a 5-point lead.
Remember back when Campbell was playing for Paul Silas in New Orleans and in Charlotte, the first 2-3 plays of the game always were post-up Campbell. And then by that time, it either showed that he was having one of his on nights or he was in early foul trouble and back on the bench again. But that's how Silas used it.
Ricky Davis getting himself in trouble and heavy traffic leading to this. Phillips around Newble. Knocked out of bounds by the Pistons. And here comes Chris Mim. He'll replace Zydrunas Ilgauskas, a 9-2 run by the...
Pass intercepted by Jamison, who just checked in. Nash for 3. And Costello's on it. Nice pass. Urban Johnson from Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell gets down to that low left block area, one of his favorite spots on the floor to operate as a post-up man. From there, he either shoots that fadeaway, turnaround, or that time the big assist.
And because of his skills down there, I don't think you'll see Steve Nash guarding him a whole lot tonight. They've started out with Josh Howard on him.
Nowitzki again trying to go at Hassel. Sprewell with the step on Howard. Latrell Sprewell exploding along the baseline.
Oops.
And the Mavericks get it right back.
You turn your head, you turn your back to the ball.
Had a year where he had over 20 rebounds a game at Creighton.
Right, yeah.
And he's still one of the top, I think, 10 rebounders of all time in the NBA. So, I mean, this is a guy who did it on both ends, who's a winner, and that's what kind of guys you have to have around LeBron James.
Los Angeles has started 1 of 7 from the floor. Kobe has not taken a shot yet. Lakers, like we said, second place in the Pacific. 4th best Western Conference record coming into tonight. As Bryant feeds George. You know, some of the players the other night, good rebound by Brown, were complaining that Kobe was holding the ball too much and not feeding to others. Here's a good LeBron James pass to Boozer. Count it, and a foul on the play. He's got his first 2. Cook got in the way and draws the foul for the Los Angeles Lakers.
You talk about a key member of this Cleveland team, Carlos Boozer. Now, he's a right-hand player, but he actually loves to finish with his left hand around the basket. So when you play him, you see LeBron James there excited about the success and the three-point trouble.
So let's see. Grant Hill is making about $184,000. Off the steal, Kenny Thomas. So the 76ers with a 20-14 lead, an 8-0 run for Philly. $184,000 per game over the remaining 4 years of his contract. Alley-oop misfired, and back comes Snow.
Yeah, his original contract, a 7-year deal, was almost $93 million for Grant Hill.
Iverson forced it. He was trying to draw a foul. Gordan Giricek checked in for the first time. Here's Tyronn Lue. Giricek, Drew Gooden on the floor for Johnny Davis. Thomas able to finish, and the Sixers on a good roll. They now lead at 22-14.
Giricek standing right there. He moves out of the way rather than stay.
27 assists a game, 14 turnovers. So a great ratio. They're a very good passing team, especially a team that plays a very high tempo. They take a lot of shots and they run a lot.
Cleveland, on the other hand, 2 assists and 4 turnovers. William Short picked up by Vlade, and the rebounding advantage is +4 for Sacramento. That's a turnover. That's the first turnover for the Kings tonight. They've had 1 3-point hit, and that was by the Sacramento Kings earlier on, Peja Stojakovic.
Boy, can you imagine right now if Brad Miller were with Indiana? I mean, they have the best record in the league. Can you imagine if they had Brad Miller right now? That trade was made for salary cap situations. They just couldn't pay Brad Miller what they needed to pay, for his services. He was a free agent, so they had to trade him a three-player deal.
Another turnover right there. Here comes Bibby racing the other way. Pickpocket by Kevin Ollie. And Ollie working against Stojakovic. Can't hit.
Player not really being set up from the point guard position. He's taking the ball, and that attracts the defense immediately.
7 lead changes so far, 4 ties. And Jeff McGinnis, who has jumped around this league and was acquired in a trade, with Portland for Darius Miles a couple weeks ago. Second foul called on Yeri Welsh, and the boos you hear are for the former Cavalier player Ricky Davis, who once he was traded took some shots at the city of Cleveland, and the Cavaliers organization.
Oh, so they're not saying boozer? That's not what they're saying?
No. Expressing a little affection for Ricky Davis.
And for more on that, let's go to Craig Sager.
Well, Kevin, there may be some boos, but there are some cheers over here because today Ricky Davis apologized to the fans of Cleveland, and tonight he reunited with his fan club. Ricky's saying a 24-second violation. However, as you see on the replay, the ball indeed did hit the rim. Stu Jackson, the senior vice president for the NBA, announced today that the call was incorrect. The ball, in fact, hit the rim. It was a very unfortunate call at a highly critical point in the game, and we at the NBA are very much regret of the error.
What do you guys feel about that?
I go back to my thing I've said for a long time as Peyton misses the shot, but Shaq follows it up and is fouled on the offensive rebound. Marv, I think there are times and places that replay can save games for teams and overturn an incorrect call. And if it's thought out just for a moment, give people the opportunity to challenge a call, because that made the difference in last night's game for Denver. And in the tight Western Conference, it could mean a playoff spot eventually.
But you know, the NBA did issue an apology, so I think Denver's fine with it now.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I think they're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, they feel real good about that one today.
Well, Shaq hit his first free throw. I'll tell you, that's the best telestrator or playastrator I have ever seen.
Thanks, Marv. It means a lot to me.
And it was succinct.
Well, it was quick. You know, I didn't want to do the 10-minute soliloquy like our old guy used to do.
Old guy, yes. See the lines under his eyes
already
to develop. We saw him on the pregame with Ernie Charles and Kenny as Nowitzki fires away. Foul is Reese Gaines, who just checked in, called on the foul. Reese Gaines, first-round pick of Orlando last year, with Tyronn Lue placed on the injured list. Reese Gaines has been activated, playing his first game as a member of the Rockets. And Dikembe Mutombo has come on for the first time.
It's amazing, you know, Marv, they run the screen and roll now with Dirk Nowitzki handling the ball. He comes off of a screen from the center. How many 6'11" guys in the...
With 7 points, 17-13. Sacramento, Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Cheryl Miller from Arco. Sacramento, this crowd ready to explode when they see Vlade Divac, the one-time king, now back with the Lakers, come off the bench. And in talking with Rudy Tomjanovic, he said he'll try to give Vlade more of a run. Porter with a nice move around Odom, but could not finish.
What an emotional moment it was, Marv, before the game when Vlade came out onto the floor. This crowd gave him unbelievable standing ovation. Vlade was visibly moved.
Here's Bim. In fact, when the season began, the thought was, or prior to the season, after Vlade was acquired, that Vlade would be the starting center, but he's had back problems. And Chris Bim has been the starter and has been surprising. Had a big game the other night. Mike Bibby on fire. He has 11 Sunday night against Orlando. Senatier Brown and Jermaine Jones as this second quarter gets underway. Cleveland Cavaliers playing game one of a 6-game West Coast trip in a 12-day span. Beautiful move by LeBron James off the hesitation.
I don't know if there's a player in the NBA who's as explosive as this guy, Marv. It's like he has a push of the button where he just absolutely explodes to the rim.
Has that uncanny change of pace, which is so difficult to defend against. Odom with the setup for Grant rejected. Odom keeping it alive, and then it's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Cavs.
He is so incredibly active, but he's a guy who likes to think pass first, Marvin. A lot of people compare him to Michael Jordan, but he's actually got a lot of Scottie Pippen in him. He wants to move the ball on. He wants to make assists and keep the ball moving, and it's given his team a wonderful rhythm to their offense.
And along with those skills, he's
here in the first quarter as Denver has gone 8 of 14, and Skeetish Veely puts it up. And a tap-in try by Miller.
And Denver is shooting 56% from the field.
That's a tough matchup for Speedy Claxton because Andre Miller really loves to play underneath that foul line, go to the offensive boards, loves to post up, so you're going to have to really do a good job of keeping him away from that backboard.
Golden State 47%. No defense whatsoever to slow down Speedy Claxton. And Carmelo Anthony. Rebound by Murphy, and that's his third of the game with his 2 points. Michael Petrus. Troy Murphy, who played at Notre Dame. Claxton. Murphy taps it in.
Now Murphy's been very aggressive here to start this game. He's gotten to the lane twice. He's hit a jumper. He's got some nice...
Eduardo Navarro, the only Mexican in the NBA.
Yeah, his popularity will go way beyond that, though. He's such a great hustle guy that he's going to be popular no matter what city he's in. And he'll go to the line here now with 5 minutes left in the quarter. Denver already in the penalty. That's a big advantage for the Nuggets. They're a team that likes to attack the rim already, so they have a chance to put up some points from the foul line here the rest of the quarter.
Fred Jones, the three-year man from Oregon, has come on for Reggie Miller. Jones gets it down low. No one covering Jermaine O'Neal.
Oh, a defensive mix-up. Looked like some of the Nuggets were in a zone and others were not. Like there was some miscommunication there.
Nuggets up by 4. Here's Johnson shooting off the double team. Rebounded by Campy. Campy keeps it alive. And last touch by the Pacers.
You can see how long and
multiply now as you get ready for the playoffs.
Divac picks up his first foul. Rockets are now 5 of 7 from the stripe, and tomorrow night on ESPN it's Detroit at Orlando and Denver at Minnesota. Saturday on NBA TV, Philadelphia at Washington, and Sunday on ABC, Detroit, Miami, New York, Indiana, or Lakers against the Sacramento Kings.
I know I keep marveling. Indiana Pacers, how are they doing it? They are moving themselves up. People thought they were trying to hold on. They got a big game tomorrow night against Washington. They win that, and they're tied for 4th.
Vlade Divac. Down he goes as they have the mad scramble for the ball. Jump ball, 1:22 to play in the first quarter.
You take a look at the East there. The Wizards and the Pacers, a big game tomorrow night. The Wizards then have 5 straight home games, of which they have a great chance to push their record. The Bulls win a big one last night in overtime. Without Eddie Curry, without Luol Deng, they win by 1 in Orlando. A lot of great things happened in the last couple days of the NBA season.
Indiana lost at Orlando earlier tonight by 4. Jackson with a nice fake on Person.
Philly clinched tonight with a big win over Milwaukee at home.
Here's Barbosa. Jackson with a second to shoot. Nene with the rebound. Number 7 seed Denver, number 1 seed Phoenix. Phoenix has beaten Denver every meeting they have had this season. 3-0 series lead in the regular year by the Suns over the Nuggets. Walter McCarty.
No one's even near him right now. Denver not even getting close to anybody in their transition defense. So Phoenix just shooting wide open 10-foot jump shots, getting to the front of the rim, having their way. Lead by 23.
And 23 is their biggest lead. Nuggets had an early 2-point lead. The leading scorer in the game with 18 points for the Suns is Joe Johnson, and for the Denver Nuggets is Carmelo Anthony. Pistons, here's Tayshaun Prince. He the recipient of a brand new 5-year, $49 million contract. Rebound by James Jones. And here comes Steve Nash, who led the NBA in assists a year ago, as he does now.
Leandro Barbosa coming off a 23-point game in 24 minutes against Sacramento. Hit a big 3 late that looked like it was going to win the game before 2 free throws by Abdul Rahim in Sacramento gave them a 1-point lead.
We've had 3 ties and 3 late changes to start the game, and inside goes Chauncey Billups, and Barbosa, the Brazilian, was there and picks up the foul. Number 1 on him.
Can we talk about the starting team of Phoenix? And this is sort of an amazing stat, but the first 4 games with Steve Nash in the game, you can see what they were outscored. -12 against Dallas, -2, -8. And you can see what off the floor, they were +47. This is one of the reasons why that Mike D'Antoni changed his starting lineup. He said, I had to get Steve Nash some help. We were wearing him out, and we were making him do 2. Play right now is Jamal Tinsley. He's come back from injuries, missed 30-something games this season. He gives them speed and quickness. He can get in the lane and make plays. They really need him to start playing at a higher level. He makes the other guys on the floor better with the things he can do.
There's a whistle, and it is inside on Steven Jackson. Number 1 on him for the Indiana Pacers.
So right now they've got, with Tinsley starting, Anthony Johnson comes off the bench. He played very, very well as a starter, so you've got a very quality player there. They like David Harrison coming off the bench, Granger off the bench. They just got to get their stars playing at a higher level.
And they got to get Jermaine O'Neal back.
Correct.
For their low post, as you've been talking about. There's a steal by Tinsley. He's out of the New York City area, scoops it up, and rebound by Tim Thomas.
Looks like he got hurt on that play. He started to jump, and I don't know what happened, but he's hurt.
And Rajah Bell for 3 for the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns have